What is up, everybody out there in the PCP Army? What's up? I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. In fact, welcome to Rockin Robbie Live. Teen Dog Shades Night Edition. You know what that means. That means there's no telling where the conversation will wind up going tonight. Thank you for joining us, everybody out there in the chat watching this live. I am Rockin Robbie Billups, of course, here to host another great show, chatting with you out there in the PCP Army about comic books, movies, television, pop culture, and a whole lot more. We've got an exciting show. We'll be getting to the first 6 momentarily, going through my Blu-ray collections. I know, weird stretch. And by the way, before we even get going, station! I saw so many stations out there. Station, 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 station! Yes! We're making Ed and Chris proud. We got a super chat from Twitch, but before we get into all that distraction, thank you so much, homie. Tonight, we'll be talking about our favorite comic books from last week. We'll be taking a look at comic books coming up this week. We'll be taking a sneak peek at the DC comic book releases this week. We'll be talking a little bit about the future of DC. We'll be talking about the next wave of TKO Comics. We'll be doing a little bit of an advanced review of Homesick Pilots #1 from Image Comics and writer Dan Waters. We'll be doing a top 5, and it's a top 5 that was requested in the PCP Army today. And I'm very proud of this top 5, and I feel like it's necessary. And then we have a plethora of amazing show and tell. So we got a lot of show tonight, and it's a Teen Dog Shades night. So this is going to be a wild, fun night, and I'm excited. So thank you guys so much, especially the patrons out there. You can support us at patreon.com/PCP. You can follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, you might as well join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. And you can check out podcasts and more at popculturephilosophers.com. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. So there you go. Why do I feel so good tonight? First of all, it's a Teen Dog Shades night. Plus, I didn't watch a lick of football tonight. Cowboys are off, so this has been, for me, the easy, breeziest, best week of NFL yet. I don't even know what's going on or what's happened. Who knows? Not me, because I've been locked in my own Robbie zone all day long. How are y'all doing? So we got that super chat from Twitch. 13MP says, let's get the party started right. You know it, my man. You know, how we do it round here. I'll get my bearings straight. Everybody, let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He was brought to the earth some long time ago to save it or destroy. Thank you so much, Twitch, for the super chat getting us started with a bang. And all super chats are going to the Tomb of Dracula #10 as dictated by the PCP Army last week. Allegedly, apparently. So there you go. Like I said, we got a lot of show and tell tonight. As you notice behind me, next to Gray Skull, but in front of Pablo, is a package. Now, it's a very van-shaped package. And Mike, the voice Matthews, dropped this off for me today. And says it's from the PCP Army, obviously, because I'm just saying it's van-shaped. So I'm supposed to open that up tonight on the stream. There you go. Anyway, how are you guys doing? Lots of people up in here. Oh my goodness, can I even get through it? Big A, Jesse say, what? Billy, Chad, Sam, Stefan, Samuel, Twitch again, Eric, Tony, Nick, Station everybody, Atari, Ace, Tacky, Herminio, David, Fable. Fable, you'll get one of your greatest wishes possibly tonight. Ben, what's up, everybody? Flaming Carrot, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to roll down to the stream. All right. Glitter and duct tapes in the house. Station. Hell yeah. Everybody station. Let's get going. So first up on the menu, we have the first 6, right? But before that, of course, I have the usual announcements. We're doing a live show this Thursday night with Kat Calamia of the Comic Uno YouTube channel. Plus, she's a comic book creator. She's got a new comic book on Kickstarter right now. I mentioned it today on the weekly pop culture wrap-up. She'll be joining me live on the channel Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Time. Friday night is a very special movie review. It's Roadhouse. And it's going to be me. It's going to be Dylan. It's going to be Brooks. It's going to be Jelani. It's going to be Perry. And it's going to be Bueller. And I could not be more excited for a movie review. 100%. And now on to the first 6. So the first 6 objects out of my collection tonight. And we're going through my Blu-ray collection, because why not? So there's Burn After Reading. Y'all, I love Burn After Reading. It's a Coen Brothers film. If you've never seen this film, I highly encourage you. It's quirky. It's weird. It's got a great play on structure, but the comedy is so funny. It's so zany and darkly funny at times. That's great. Next up, Cabin in the Woods. One of the poll winners in the PCP Army this year. In fact, it's the reason why I bought the Blu-ray. I didn't have it before. Also next is Candyman, the Scream Factory one. Haven't opened it yet. Just recently acquired this a few weeks ago during all the horror movie sales that were going on. And then we'll finish the first 6 with, of course, the Captain America trilogy. So there's my copy of The First Avenger, Captain America. You'll see a lot of MCU films in this collection. Winter Soldier right there. And then Captain America Civil War. All 3 films are great. In fact, I think the strongest trilogy from movie to movie out of the entire MCU. That's what I would say. So this show is driven by your questions, comments, thoughts, all that stuff. So get questions in right now. And like I said, it's Teen Dog Shades night, so we can talk about a wide variety of things tonight. You never know. You know, Tacky, I think they did do a Roadhouse 2. Now, I never saw it. But there is one. It doesn't have the sways in it, but it's in there. It's out there. It was done way later, I think. Didn't they base Roadhouse on Bueller's life? I think Bueller would like you to think so, and possibly, quite possibly, to be honest with you. I mean, who knows? That's Bueller's life. I don't know too much about Bueller, but... We'll talk a little bit about Future State. Sure. Well, right now, like, what is Future State? Future State is not something for people to get up in arms about. It's not something to, like, be freaked out about. It's literally just a 2-month. So DC wanted to plan. This is even before the coronavirus stuff, right? DC wanted to plan a 2-month gap in their production to let teams kind of catch up and get things more cemented. And they've done this before. And what they usually do is that what they did then was they brought in another editorial team to kind of just do this like 2-month thing, like a filler type thing, okay? That was Convergence back then. Where they were going to do that this time, and I would almost suspect that maybe that's what the JLA Endless Winter thing wound up being. I don't know about that, though. But, so we know that the DC 5G stuff was allegedly happening, that they were going to tell the next generation of DC continuity, right? And that kind of got curtailed after Dan DiDio got axed, right? So they basically took the work that had already been done and they just turned it into this 2-month thing. So for 2 months, most DC regular line books are going to be replaced by Future State. So there'll be a Batman Future State, a Detective Future State, Superman, an action super, like each book will kind of be replaced by something. And it's going to be like the future of DC, possibly. That kind of thing. Because they're setting up something called the DC Omniverse. They're going beyond multiverse now. They're going into the outer Omniverse, basically leaning into the idea that continuity doesn't matter as much because every story actually happens. And that's a great way to think about it. So like when you're reading Dark Knight Returns, you're not reading a possible future Batman. You're reading, that's a real Batman story. And that goes into some of the possible plans that we've heard. We're going to get more into that in the second segment of the show. But Future State, I think, is something really interesting because we got some really exciting creative teams on these books. So I'm actually pumped for some of them. I'm pumped for the Superman books. Sean Lewis, who did Thumbs and The Few, come on. And Philip Kennedy Johnson doing the Superman books. Jen Bartel is drawing the Immortal Wonder Woman, and it's Diana as like the last remaining immortal or something. Like Jen Bartel doing the art. Come on, yeah. And then there's a new Wonder Woman. She's an actual Amazon from the Amazon rainforest or whatever, and that's Joelle Jones. So sure, that's going to be really cool for a couple issues. And the Justice League one has a Justice League Dark story by Ram V, and it's got the Justice League story by Josh Williamson. And I'm actually kind of excited about these. And the Batman ones, I'm kind of down for those. I think Dan Moore is doing the artwork on like Dark Detective, I think. And you get the John Ridley idea about the next Batman. I think it's interesting. So I'm definitely gonna check it out. But I don't think it's anything to freak out over. Now, we can't start freaking out about these rumors that are starting to swirl around about DC's possible future. We'll talk a lot about that later. Maybe. Who knows? The shades are on. Maybe I'll forget to talk about it. I did write it down right there, though. But I think DC Future State's going to be fine. Aren't we still technically in Rebirth? I wonder when the next relaunching will be. The next relaunching is going to be in March, because March is going to be the DC Omniverse. There's a lot of rumblings about this right now. It probably will be announced in a little bit, but we'll get to this too, because when it's starting to be explained in Death Metal, the new issue of Death Metal that comes out this week, really starts setting some things up, and it explains the idea of the Anti-Crisis as far as it relates to comic book publishing continuity and all that. And it's incredibly interesting, and I get where they're going, but there's a certain element of it that's kind of scary, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. I would love to eventually get to the Fifth World. Grant Morrison was trying to bring us to the Fifth World, Flaming Carrot, you know? That's what he was trying to do with Final Crisis. Like, that was the last stand of Doomsday and the New Gods and all that stuff, and he was birthing the Fifth World. So technically, I guess we're in the Fifth World. And as far as Rebirth is now, I guess, officially coming to an end. That era ended officially a couple years ago, I think. You can tell because of the rebranding to DC Universe. And you can tell by the trade dress on the trade paperbacks. But they've officially been out of Rebirth. And one thing that's interesting is that now when they flash back to the original Justice League, Martian Manhunter's there and not Cyborg. So, you know. Do I know how many fingers I'm about to hold up? 3. Damn. I guess I'm not quite on point and centered and balanced with the universe right now. I thought when you put the shades on it happens, but you still got to put the work in, right? Yeah, Doomsday Clock is kind of getting folded in a little bit. What Snyder's trying to do is really cool. I don't want to talk too much about it, but he is. It's not like Snyder's grand vision. It's just that Snyder's using the story to make some kind of meta commentary on DC and the Crisis events and things like that. And it's really interesting. Death Metal is a must read this week if you're interested in that, because it pretty much lays out the idea of what the DC Omniverse is going to be. Which, for those that don't know, is the idea that the next direction of DC is going to be focused not so much on a coherent continuity of stories, but just kind of widening out like what they've already been establishing with all this, the middle age and the young readers books and things like that, and young adult books and the kids books and the DC Black Label, and just trying to tell stories that are great and true to the core of the character, that can be evergreen and stand on a bookshelf and anybody can pick up and read and not be connected. But the idea is that they still want to have a connected universe, but it will be much smaller and much contained to fewer titles. That's the idea. So far that we're hearing. None of this is, of course, confirmed yet by DC. Zombie says, man, I see no difference. The big two is already all over the place. Elseworld stories, not knowing whether something's in continuity. 3 Jokers. The reboots, the insane amount of series for characters. Exactly. I think that's exactly what Snyder is addressing in Death Metal number 5 that comes out this week. he's directly addressing exactly what you're saying. Publishing companies should be publishing wide. They should be publishing a very diverse line of comics. It shouldn't just all be the main line of superhero continuity. And I think DC's trying to focus on that. The big scary thing that they're leading to, and maybe, let's just go ahead and talk about it. Maybe the big scary thing that people are leading into is that they are allegedly thinking about just going all digital with the chapters of the superhero mainstream continuity and then releasing them as graphic novels to bookstores and then comic shops, right? And basically taking out the idea of the single issue comic weekly, right? Taking away that idea and basically just publishing graphic novels and chapters of those graphic novels digitally first. None of that is confirmed, but that seems to be. I think before they do that, what they're going to do is shrink the line of individual comics first, and they're going to let that run for a while. There will probably be a couple Superman books, a bunch of Batman books, a Wonder Woman, and maybe an Aquaman, but maybe Justice League's just going to be enough to carry that. But Flash, Green Lantern, you're going to get those core books, those core characters mostly that are spotlighted in media. So if Harley Quinn's a big success like she is, she'll have a new book. And there's rumored that there is a Harley Quinn book launching in March with this whole omniverse thing. This is after Future State. Those solicitations haven't come up yet. We just now are getting February. We're just now getting February solicitations, and that's the end of Future State. So we haven't gotten March stuff yet, but surely there will be an announcement at some point. Without cons being around, it's really hard to kind of nail down when I think that announcement will be. They're not pulling the plug on DC Comics. DC Comics, now, a lot of people are alleging that they want to eventually go to a digital-first model for chapters, right? So, like, I'm not talking about your Black Label stuff and things like that, or your, those are going to continue on, but look at what they're doing with their all-ages graphic novels, their young adult graphic novels. They're having a lot of success with those, just putting those out in shops. And they're having more success there than they are with the direct market. So they're thinking about shrinking the number of publications sent directly to the direct market, but maybe in the long run, do away with that completely. That would suck. That would suck so bad. I am an avid DC comic book fan, and I love collecting DC comics week to week, and that would kill me. But the idea is that they would do that digital. It's kind of like what they're doing with they got digital first books that come out every week. They're like $1. You get a chapter. You get like a piece of a book. But this is going back to that thing we were talking about, how they were wanting to pay less for the creators, not relying on the names of the creators, but on the brand of the character. And that bodes to be a bad sign for me for DC. But I like the idea of what Snyder's trying to set up going forward. I don't think that DC's going to abandon floppy comics in 2021, but it may be part of their overall strategy to try to eventually shrink it further and move away from it, because it's probably not as profitable. Obviously, it's not as profitable as digital, and it's not as profitable as the graphic novel sales. So maybe the future of DC Comics new this week will be the new graphic novels that hit the shelves. I would hate that. I would really hate that. But, I mean, if change comes, we're going to have to embrace it, but we'll see, because a lot of this is still speculation and rumor. And when that gets involved on this kind of topic and subject, you get a lot of shaky information. What's up, 1-2? What's up, Adam? What's up, everybody? I'm probably missing a lot of people tonight. I'm sorry. And if I missed your question or comment, just throw it back out. Thoughts on Geoff Johns and Gary Frank's going to Image for a project? Well, the project is Geiger. Sounds like a cool idea. It's very vague, the solicitation. It's about a world in which there was a nuclear war, some kind of disaster, and this is years later, and there's some dangerous man of legend named Geiger out in the wastelands or something. That's it. That's pretty much. But it's Geoff Johns, it's Gary Frank, doing a mature reader's title or a creator-owned title. I'm down with that. 100%. Now, it was set up to be at DC, but DC has had a falling out with Geoff Johns. Or should I say, Geoff Johns had a falling out with DC. Yeah, the Ray Fisher allegations, you get all that kind of stuff going on. And then you've got just them, like, there was a lot of promise there. First of all, he was chief creative officer for a while. He got fired from that. He was really running a lot of the films. He kind of got a lot of flack for that, took a lot of the fall for the failure of certain movies like, Justice League, right? And now if you really look at how Warner Brothers is putting more money into the Snyder Cut, and it just seems like, yeah, he's taking, him and a lot of other people are taking the brunt of that. And then the Ray Fisher stuff, and it kind of gets all wrapped up, and he was on the outs from DC for a while there, and that's one of the reasons why Doomsday Clock and Three Jokers didn't quite connect to continuity, probably as it was initially intended to, is because once he finished those projects, and including Shazam, which was great, man. I still like his work, but I don't think we're going to see work from him at DC soon, except for there's supposed to be something in March. There's supposed to be something tied into the launch of the DC Omniverse, and they're going to maybe launch it with this, like the rumors that there's a book being launched. It's just a one-shot called Batman Universe. Now think about how, what was it? Was it right before Final Crisis or after Infinite Crisis? I don't know, but they did this like one shot called DC Universe number 0, and it kind of like set some things up that are coming, including the Red Lanterns and stuff. But that this is something like that for Batman, but maybe making the idea that all these Batman stories happen. So like, Batman, the Sean Murphy Batman, that's an ongoing universe. As long as people are buying those books, that's a series of graphic novels at DC. The main Batman continuity that we're reading right now, that's going to maybe spin out of post-Death Metal or whatever, because Death Metal is an end and a new beginning. What that will be, we'll see, because the basic idea is that every story will matter. Every continuity will matter. There's no more like limited 52 universes or anything like that. It's an omniverse. Kind of like what Marvel goes with it, but Marvel doesn't really do a lot of that outside of mainline content at times. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But the idea is that he's doing something in there, but if I had to guess, that may just be attached to maybe the idea that eventually we're getting Earth 1 Batman Volume 3, right? So, but yeah, I'm really pumped for the new book with Gary Frank and Geoff Johns and Image. It's supposed to debut in April. Apparently they're already ahead of it, and that's why they're launching it, but we'll see. Still don't know why DC doesn't do digital codes like Marvel. Seems like a great way to get people into digital space. Marvel has sold me on a lot of trades with deals in digital. Yeah, they don't really go that route. When they did, they did for a little bit, but it just didn't pan out. I don't know many people that really get into those, A lot of people just give them away or sell them. I'm right there with Herminio. It says, I collect everything from trades to epics to omnibuses, but I still love the single issues the most. And that's I love going to the well, I'll be honest, man. I don't have the pleasure so much of going to the comic shop. I have a different pleasure of opening the boxes, I guess. But, I love the weekly supply, the weekly fix for ongoing superhero tales and other tales and stuff. I would suck to lose DC, though, in floppies, if that ever happened. Yeah, Mikey, it's the Shades night, brother. How's it going? What's up, Comic Book Therapy? Well, I collected all, though, but I still loved the weekly fix. And then the DC Universe app is going straight digital like comics. So, for the most part, the original content and the shit is being taken off, and it's going to be like comics. It's going to be like the Marvel app, which I said would be a great idea. And I'm glad that they're doing that. And that's a cool way, because honestly, not everybody has the luxury of room, money, or want to have a house full of stuff. And, but, there's certain things still to have and collect physically. I'm a big physical guy, obviously. But I don't mind digital comics. Right now, I would like it if I could get a hold of some really nice, hardcovers of Spawn. But they're out of print and super rare. And even the trades only go up to a certain point. Spawn needs to be more available outside of digital. Just got to say that. I'm just going to say that. It's got to be more available. Spawn's got to be more available outside of digital. It's just a fact of life, of the comic book industry. Just want to go ahead and say that. Yeah, all the shows are on HBO Max now. Fable says, I can give it a shot, especially after getting into so many indies, but I love that the big two have a shared universe. Yeah, me too. I do too. And I think that's still going to be a part of it, a connected universe. Obviously, that's still something people want to emulate because it's something that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has had success with. And that's something that honestly has been built up for the most part with comics, like being able and other things like expanded universes. Think about all the Star Wars novels out there and Star Trek novels and all that kind of stuff. And it's all supposed to be connected. And people love the idea of this big, epic, connected world that they can get into and sink into and have ownership of in some kind of way. And some people find that daunting. So I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Yeah, I need to get around to watching Doom Patrol as well. All right, everybody, let's talk about our favorite comic books of last week. What was your pick of the week? My pick of the week was The Red Mother, number 10. So The Red Mother is ending at issue number 12. And a couple issues ago, I could kind of feel it approaching. And I knew that issue 10 could be a big issue. And it was. And I loved it. It's magnificent. Now, first of all, The Red Mother has been great. Written by Jeremy Hahn, Danny Luckert on the artwork. Not a line wasted. Whether dialogue, whether artwork. Not a single shade of color. Not a drop of a word. Nothing in this book is wasted at all throughout any single issue. It was accused of being a slow burn. But when you start realizing that it's structured as a 12-issue series, man oh man, this, I think, is near masterpiece. Now, we got 2 more issues to go. We'll see how they nail the ending. And if they do, this is going to be amazing. This has been a fantastic book. Issue 10 was exceptionally well done. The craft involved in The Red Mother blows me away. Issue to issue, I freaking love this book. What was your favorite comic book of the week, though? What was your pick of the week? Tell me, and what did you think of The Red Mother, number 10? Yes, tell us. Tell us, PCP Army, what did you think of it? Stargirl is surprisingly good. I like Stargirl, Billy. I don't know if you're trolling. I can never tell with you. But I really like Stargirl. I really do. Damn, Red Mother is ending. Yes, but all good things. A story that has a beginning, middle, and end is the best story out there. It doesn't need to just keep dragging on if it doesn't need to. And I think it's... I'm ready. I think it's great. And this is going to be something. It's going to be like Midnight Nation. It's going to be like The Watchmen. It's going to be like Mr. Miracle. One of those great 12-issue reads. Sink your evening. Have a glass of whiskey. Something nice. Something pricey. A special treat. You know, smoke some, drink some. Put your shades on and read one of these things. I think it's going to be one of those books. I'm excited for it. Hey, we got a super chat from Tacky. Thank you so much, my man. You know how it goes. Or do you? Hellboy one time met this little man that I think we all know. His name is Venom. crawling up and down the wall and heading to the studio for his debut album. Hellboy said to him, "Hey Venom, what kind of music do you like to make?" And Venom looked him straight in the eyes and said, "Yo, I like to make country western." Station! All right, all that silliness aside. All right, what was your favorite comic book of last week? Zen Soundwave says, "I agree, Red Mother was awesome. Beef Bros is underrated indie. I recommend to everyone. Beef Bros is going to be awesome. I'm super pumped for it. It's an Aubrey Sitterson project. It's on Kickstarter right now. It's got 9 days left. Beef Bros. I mentioned it on a weekly pop culture wrap up. I'm pumped for this one. It looks ridiculously fun. Ridiculously fun. What's up, Rhetoric? High hopes they will stick the landing. Hell yeah. Nick says, "I'm not sure if I read anything from this past week. Still catching up from the last couple weeks. Today I read Thor 9, Giga number 1, Batman 101, and some others I can't remember now." Well, there you go. What'd you think of them? Samuel says, "I have over 6,000 comics, and the best way to organize them is first by year, then by publisher, then alphabetical." Holy cow. Brother, that's insanely meticulous. First of all, I'm not ordered when my stuff isn't. It's just alphabetical. Wow, that's insanely, extravagantly awesome. That's how you find whatever you're looking for. There you go. Twitch says, "Had a busy week and I've only read We Only Find Them When They're Dead, which left me completely confused by the ending. Confused by who exactly that was. Something about the colors is throwing me off in that book. I like the colors, but it's muddying it up for me. But when I read it digital, by the way, it's less like that, which is interesting." Mikey says, "Punchline, ha, kidding. Actually, I hate to be this guy, but I really didn't love anything this week. Some good, but nothing amazing. Small week." I kind of feel what you're saying. I thought there was some good stuff still, though. Because we had Red Mother. Red Mother was the one that blew me away. Just blew me away. But I like some stuff. But a lot of average. You're right. His name was Jason. Man, I am Jasoned out. Let me tell you that. I watched so many damn Jason movies and I plowed through a 3-hour stream. If anybody ever noticed, by the way, I was like about to fall asleep at the end of that stream. We were just trying to like get through it. We spent way too much time, I think, on the opening of that show than I intended. And we kind of rushed through the last 6 films, but or the last 6, but Jesus. That felt like a long night, man. I really did. I see what you're saying. You have like 4 to 6 boxes per year, and it's easy to maintain them. As they come in, it's easier to maintain. That makes a lot of sense. Station. Artist ATMD says, "Love your weekly comic book show. I figure my pool list from that. LOL." Oh, thank you so much. Station. Glad to be of service. No one's given any love to Ten of Swords. I loved Ten of Swords. I gave a lot of love to Ten of Swords. Just not this week. We'll see how they pull it together. There's a way for them to pull this out, but there's something off about this pacing. Look at how much they built up these swords, the sword bearers, the journey to this point. And then once the fighting happens, first of all, it happens at too fast of a pace, I think. And it's a little ridiculous. Some of it's a little ridiculous. Now, we'll see what's happening. We'll see where they go with it. We'll see how they wrap it up. But man, that was a wild 3 issues, y'all. I didn't really dig on it too much. I feel like we were cheated. Feels sloppy. I don't like it's not the idea necessarily that the sword fights are not really necessarily sword fights. But it's just not only even that it's been injected with humor, because that's been something in the Hickman X-Men universe has been humor, but because of the speed of it, it took so long was like so like well like timed out, I thought, building up this threat, and then just to all of a sudden go, it was like all of a sudden somebody turned the Benny Hill music on. That's what happened with Ten of Swords this week. It's like someone forgot. There you go. My high ass forgot where Station is from. Can you explain again? Station is from the Bill and Ted franchise. Station. It's a word that just means what it means. Do you know what I'm saying? And so it was a running gag in Bogus Journey because you have the character of Station, right? The two Martians that combine into one big station. And you have this running gag that at different points in history people say station. And they station. You know, it's like a greeting. It's something, it means like excellent or thank you or anything like that, right? And then in Face the Music, it's utilized in that one scene with Kid Cudi where he's like, station, and then they station him back. And us here at the PCP Army love the Bill and Ted films, and me and Strickland started owning Station, and we owned it hardcore. And then we started bringing that into the show, and now it's going out into the PCP Army, and hopefully it spreads out there, because back in the 90s, everybody didn't get the station bit. And Chris and Ed even say that it was probably a mistake, the whole station bit in Bogus Journey. And I beg to differ. And I think we're doing them proud. And I think that we are bringing Station back. And I think they were just well ahead of their time by like 30 years or so. But seriously. Station. This is us. Yes, this is the Teen Dog Shades night. I don't have any particular Teen Dog Shades subject to talk about, but it is open as we go along through the night. Arakko is going to lose the battle. I think the whole point of the battle at this point, because when I started looking back, I'm thinking that something's in play to do something in particular. And I think the ultimate result of this is the unification of Arakko and Krakoa into, what was it? Arakko or Oriko or something like that. I think we're going to see the Krakoa and Arakko want to combine. They want to get back together. And there's certain pieces in... I mean, that's the biggest factor. They're the ones that they want to get together, and I think that's there's going to be unification. And I think some of these characters are going to survive and they're all going to have to kind of live together, and then the X-Men are going to be put in this weird spot. I don't know. That's what I think is going to happen by the end of it. Roadhouse is Friday night at 9 p.m. Central Time. That's right. We're joined by a very special guest, Bueller, talking about his favorite movie ever, Roadhouse, with the PCP Army, with the excitable PCP crew. Very, very exciting. That's Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Time. And we got a super chat from Mikey. Says, I've been putting Station on everything to spread it from here. And people are confused, but I explain it doesn't even matter. So many people get confused, but you know what most of them do? They just look at you back and they go, Station. Station! Do you know who we're making happy? We're making Blade happy. Blade's happy, everybody. Station! Here we go. Let me tell you about this Oscar-winning man I know. It's Joaquin Phoenix running around from the Holly studio. Who's calling him to do Joker 2? But he thinks that Joker 2 may not be such a great idea. And I say to him, I agree. Station! And Joaquin Phoenix keeps running and running. But where's he got to go? And who's he running from? You never know. I think he's running from. His name is Cable. Joaquin Phoenix is running from Nathan Summers. His name is Cable. His name is Cable. All right, that's silly, isn't it? All right. Why not? I'm glad that station is. Was station a typo? I don't remember that. Maybe it was. Maybe that's where it came from. It was just a random word they picked, right? Maybe that's where it came from. Flamin' Carrot says, really liking Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp's GL Season 2. Me too. And it is going through its full 12 issues. It does return. We know that it comes back after Future State. For 2 more issues to wrap it up. But then I wouldn't be surprised if Morrison's done with DC for a bit. Now, I did start watching Brave New World. I'm 2 episodes in, so I'm not super far in. I've been really watching a lot of Friday the 13th this week. So I only got to watch 1 episode of Saved by the Bell this week, but it was a good one. It really was. It was the one where they get the substitute teacher teaching them Romeo and Juliet, and all the Kelly, Lisa, and Jesse, and all the other young ladies start just swooning over him, and then Zach and Screech and AC start freaking out, that they're stealing their women or something like that. It's ridiculous, but it's fun. It's the 1 episode of Saved by the Bell I got to watch this week. Yeah, what is it? Whatever, it is what it is. Maybe we should do a live movie, live commentary on Saved by the Bell episodes. 1 a week. My man Jay Strick, though, did tell me that he was going to hook me up maybe with a small monitor and a Blu-ray player. We can put up here in the studio right there. And then I can play more things. I can't actually play Blu-rays while I'm doing a stream on my computer. So if I had that, it would be easy to do multiple things, like live movie commentaries on MCU films, on horror films, things like that. And I think that would be interesting. If that's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments down below. Or the live stream right now, actually. Arm wrestling's the only thing I didn't like. Yeah. Those Veregi covers or whatever, those covers are great. Those look really cool. Very cool. Mike, your fault. Showgirls, yeah. No, I have not watched Utopia. You keep talking to me about Utopia. Well, and I write it down every week. But right now, I'm trying to get through Brave. I've watched 2 episodes, and it's I like it so far, but we'll see. There's a lot of in it, kind of stuff. What's on that? On top of the castle. Right there? It's the Talon Fighters. Point Dread, the Talon Fighter. Is that what you're talking about? You're talking about the gun? There's the gun. Castle Grayskull gun. And then there's the Talon Fighter on Point Dread, which attaches to Grayskull. Smoke whatever the fuck you want, man. Smoke whatever the hell you want. All right, what's coming out in comic shops this week? Let's take a look. It's a really good week, y'all. By the way, we need your help in Thunderdome. We got to win this week, y'all. We're nearing the end of if we can have some solid weeks and votes on Thunderdome. I need everybody right now to really commit, PCP Army, to go and vote for PCP every week on the Thunderdome. The Thunderdome is on Bueller's weekly top 10 video, which releases on Tuesdays. Right now, you can still vote on his latest one. My pick was Infinite Hour Extreme from Dark Knight's Death Metal. I think it was a fun pick, but we need some more votes. This week, my pick is going to be A Dark Interlude, the sequel to Fearscape. I've read the first issue. It's great. If you like Fearscape, you're going to love this book. If you haven't read Fearscape, literally one of the best comic books of the last 5 years. Fearscape. Literally. One of the absolute best comic books of the last 5 years. Fearscape. Yes, we got a new Ice Cream Man this week. Let's go ahead and talk about Image Comics then. From Image Comics this week, we have Big Girls number 4. Excited for that. Black Magic 16, that's one that I fell off of. Need to get back on, but it was gone for so long. But I love the Greg Rucka stuff, but I'm behind on all of it. Commanders in Crisis number 2. I barely remember issue 1. I'll try to remember what happened. They're doing a 25th anniversary commemorative edition of Darkness number 1. I think that's pretty nifty because I loved Darkness when it first launched. Die number 15, another book I'm still not caught up on. Die number 13. The East to West Year 3 hardcover comes out, so we can finally complete our collections there. The 5th trade paperback of Gideon Falls. Ice Cream Man returns with issues number 21 with an Andrea Sorrentino variant cover that looks super creepy and very Corinthian. That's pretty cool. Rat Queens 22, second print. That's the second print. 7 to Eternity returns with issue number 14. Stillwater by Zdarsky and Perez, number 3. Walking Dead Deluxe Edition number 3. That's the colored stuff. Colored version of Walking Dead. From Dark Horse Comics. Assassin's Creed Valhalla Song of Glory number 2. Barbalian Red Planet number 1 from the world of Black Hammer. That's going to be really cool. Number 1. Looking forward to that one. What else we got? Got the damn shades on. You Look Like Death. Tales from the Umbrella Academy number 3. From IDW. G.I. Joe Real American Hero 275. Marvel Action Avengers number 2. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic 91. 91, everybody. Sea of Sorrows number 1. New one from Rich Duick, Alex Cormack, Justin Birch. I did an advanced review of this one already on the channel. Check it out. I highly recommend this. This is from the exact same creative team of Road of Bones. If you liked that one, historical horror, check this one out. Star Wars Adventures Annual 2020. Usagi Yojimbo number 14 from Marvel Comics. We have another Amazing Spider-Man. It's number 53, but at least we just have one issue. But we have an Avengers Marvel's Snapshot number 1. That could be interesting. Those started off really strong, got really weak. Cable number 6, more Ten of Swords. A lot of Ten of Swords this week. Captain America number 25. What else? Oh, Excalibur Volume 1 Omnibus. That's cool. Fantastic Four 26. So let's see if it can actually continue its excitement that it was building up in me in issue 25. Hellions number 6 is out this week. Immortal Hulk number 40. Juggernaut number 3. Marvel's Voices, Indigenous Voices number 1. It's going to be a one-shot, I think, with a lot of Native American creators. So that's one of the reasons, I think, for Native American History Month or whatever, they're doing those covers that are really, really striking and cool. Spider-Woman number 6. Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 7. I'm not reading any Star Wars books, but I hear that Vader's really good. All of a sudden. Swordmaster number 12. Symbiote Spider-Man King in Black number 1. It's going to be a Symbiote Spider-Man miniseries by the same creative team, I think, Peter David and Greg Land. But it's telling one of Null's first attempts, allegedly, to break out. So we'll see. We'll see. Shameless tie-in, probably. Venom number 30, building up to King in Black. Widowmakers, Red Guardian, and Yelena Belova. It's a thing that was supposed to be out spotlighting Yelena and Red Guardian for the Black Widow movie that's been delayed. And X-Force number 14 is out this week. That's from Marvel. Dynamite. We have Mars Attacks Red Sonja number 4. Vengeance of Vampirella number 12. From Boom Studios, we have Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Willow number 5. Faithless 2 number 6. Firefly number 22. Lumberjane 75. 75, y'all. Wow. Crazy. And Once a Future number 13. And Something is Killing the Children number 12. Those are great, by the way. From other publishers, this week, we have Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists number 3. Bad Mother number 4. Blade Runner 2019 number 12. Children of the Grave number 1, a new one from Scout. Dark Interlude number 1 from Vault. That's the sequel to Fearscape. So excited. Dead Day number 5. Devil's Red Bride number 2. Doctor Who Comics number 1. Edgar Allan Poe's Snifter of Blood number 2. Engine Ward number 5, Frank at Home on the Farm number 1, Grindel, Kentucky number 3, Grumble, Memphis and Beyond the Infinite number 5, Heist or How to Steal a Planet number 8, Hollywood Trash number 2, Recount number 1, Shadow Service number 4, and We Live number 2. It's a lot of comics. And from DC, we have Aquaman number 65, Batman 103, Catwoman 27, Dark Knight's Death Metal number 5, Joker, Harley, Criminal Sanity number 6, Justice League 57, Nightwing 76, Rorschach number 2, and Teen Titans 47. So there you go. Here's My Little Pony short box. If someone gave it to me, I'd use it. I'll tell you that. I wouldn't go buy it myself, though. Hey, we got David Hatch in here. David Hatch, station. Everybody station for David Hatch. So what book are you most looking forward to? If Bueller asked you your Thunderdome pick, the book to pick of what you are most excited for this week, what would you pick? I'm going A Dark Interlude because I freaking loved Fearscape. So I am so pumped for this book. Sea of Sorrows is a great pick too, Hamburger Basket. What is your favorite book? What are you most looking forward to coming out this week? Red Rick says, Sea of Sorrows. Sea of Sorrows is really good. Tacky says the Jenny Frison Catwoman. Oh, is there a Catwoman variant? Will says Die 15. Easy Reader says Once and Future. I've read that issue. It's really good. We Live. I'll be reading that one tomorrow night. Samuel's most looking forward to Death Metal number 5. Death Metal! Arminio says Something is Killing the Children and Amazing Spider-Man 53. Sure. Comic Book Therapy says Catwoman. Rom V. Taki says Grindel, Kentucky. Yeah, Red Rick, I read Sea of Sorrows. I put an advanced review on the channel. Loved it. Thought it was great. Taki says, yep, We Live number 2. Miguel Poole. Death Metal number 5. Death Metal. Dark Knight's Death Metal. Twitch says Once and Future, followed by Something is Killing the Children, followed by Immortal Hulk. Immortal Hulk's been on a uptick lately again. Miguel Poole says Captain America. Babel says, I want to check out The Children of the Grave. I'm going to be checking that one out tomorrow night to make sure that I cover it. A Girl Who Walks Home Alone at Night. You're right, Taki. That was one I saw I forgot to write down. Flaming Carrot says Death Metal number 5. Hell yes. Death Metal. Dark Knight's Death Metal. Ah. Why not? Tapering Boy number -3. No Tapering Boy right now, but we'll see. We'll see. The idea is that in these mystery boxes, we've been giving out some have Tapering Boy sketches in it. So let's get me back into drawing the character. And now I got to draw Mike Myers fighting Tapering Boy. And I got to get on that this week. Think Catwoman will be really good. Did you grab a PS5? Oh no. The last PlayStation and the only PlayStation I ever had was 3. And I got it mostly to play Street Fighter 4. I think it was 4, right? And MLB The Show. And then it died. And I mostly actually got it because it was a Blu-ray player. And it was very affordable for me at the time to get that instead of a Blu-ray player that I wanted. And so I got the PS3. And when that died, I've never been a big gamer. I got my NES and Super NES stuff and my Atari 2600. That seems to do me right now, though I do want to get a 64. I want to get a 64 pretty bad. I haven't really liked the Symbiote Spider-Man stuff. It's been okay. This one, I mean, maybe it'll be interesting. It's tied in with King in Black, so maybe it'll be interesting. It's technically, I guess, the first King in Black book, right? I forgot. Berserker's a while from now, I think. Isn't it? It's like 2021, I think. Yep, that's Herminio's Mike Myers versus Tapering Boy. That's a commission. I've been commissioned for the first time to do art. I'm very fucking nervous. I'm drinking straight to ale, Monkey Knot, India Pale Ale. Nobody asked me last week, or at least nobody that I noticed in. I was actually drinking something different. But it gave me major bad heartburn all week long. But next week, guess what? This upcoming Saturday, we're doing the Packy One Chip Challenge live here on the channel at 7 or at 8 p.m. Central Time. Yep. I have no idea about a 64 mini. That'd be neat. I just want a 64 and a handful of games. That's what I want. Then I want to focus. I want to get a Mega Drive and a Genesis, and I don't know why. I just want to get the old school stuff. I actually don't own a SNES or Nintendo. I have an emulator in which I play those games. So, but those are the games I play. And I have an Atari 2600 Mini. I know where I can get an Atari 2600, but right now it's just not financially going to happen. But I really would like to get it. But that would involve getting some crazy stuff. Like, I guess you could get an adapter or something and throw it in. Favorite SNES game? Jim Mint Collectibles in the house. Everybody station for Jim Mint. Station. My favorite Super Nintendo game is easily Super Mario World. I love that game. I have played that game probably the most in my entire life. Sometimes I feel like I play it in my sleep, you know, and especially when you're playing it. And I'll, like, every once in a while, I'd be like, you just want something easy. You're just going to be like, I'll play Super Mario World, you know. But that's my favorite one. That was a great one. I also loved Super Street Fighter 2. That's one I still play. What else? I love Spider-Man and the X-Men Arcade's Revenge. That's one of my favorites for Super Nintendo. I did a top 5 one time on a live stream. Maybe I should start cutting those out. But yeah, station. And but yeah, what else was those are the ones that pop out immediately. I'm sure there are others though. I always liked playing Mortal Kombat better on the Genesis as long as you had a 6-button controller. Chrono Trigger. See, I never got into Chrono Trigger. I never got into that kind of stuff. I know people love Chrono Trigger. Yes, Maximum Carnage. Maximum Carnage is dope as hell. It had the red cartridge, man. You're taking me back. You're taking me back so far, and I love it. What else? I've been mostly playing NES lately, man. And it's been stupid shit like Paperboy and Friday the 13th and that stupid Bill and Ted game. I mean, as much as I love Bill and Ted and, you know, Station, but man, that Bill and Ted game is, I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out at all. I've been playing that Wolverine game on the NES. That's fun. I actually enjoy that. That game's pretty fun. But yeah, SNES. Super Street Fighter 2, obviously. Yeah, Mario All-Star. Oh, it's Mario Kart. Super Mario Kart. Bruh, yeah. Paper Mario. Was that 64? I don't remember. Anyway, Mario Kart. Yeah, that's a dope one too. Didn't get a PS5 yet. Most of us have. I'm not going to get. I mean, I don't game. Like, that would be such a waste of money for me. I wouldn't do anything with it. It just sucks though, because I do like the show, and that's like a PS exclusive game. So it just sucks. I'm not going to spend that much money though just to have freaking Dr. Mario. That's a good one. Dr. Mario's a really good one. Yeah. Oh, Donkey Kong Country. Hell yeah, Jim, man. You're right, bro. Jim, you're right. Donkey Kong Country pushed the boundaries, too, of what that system could do graphically. It was, like, monumental. It was crazy. Super Metroid. I've only ever played the one on the NES. It infuriates me. That's one I got to play through with my buddy Brooks. See, I don't have much patience. So I like video games, like the old school stuff, but I don't have much patience. So, like, really, I like fighting games and racing games. And I like modern racing games for the most part when I get to play them. Super Castlevania, yeah, I've only played the NES Castlevanias, really. And I was never into Zelda. I was big into Mario, anything Mario, and fighting games. Killer Instinct on SNES. I probably played Killer Instinct on SNES. That's the system I had. I had a Genesis for a while too, but I had the SNES like for the longest. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on NES is one of my favorite games of all time. Seriously. But I think my favorite game of all time is Super Mario World. So that's why it's easy for me to say that's my favorite SNES game. Davey says, drinking a tasty IPA from my Iron Man pint glass right now. I'm drinking a tasty one from my Boy Wonder pint glass. Road Rash on Sega. You should try some of these new games, Robbie. You would like a lot of the new stuff. Great stories and worlds. Well, Fable, I'll tell you this. You wouldn't like it if I tried these new games. Because if I wound up playing games for like, even if it was just 2 to 3 hours a day, right? If that happened, there would be significant less work done on PCP. Trust me. Trust me. I had the Sega channel too. Actually, I'm lying. Why did I lie like that? Because I misremembered. I didn't have the Sega channel. My homie had the Sega channel. I had the free trial at time, but he had the actual Sega channel. And we went to his house and played all the time. And we would play like the same like level of Beavis and Butthead over and over again. I'm a retro gamer though, Fable. That's what I'm focusing my efforts onto. I've come to terms with it. I've come to terms with the idea of being the retro gamer, and I'm cool with it. Though, you know, I was over at John's house, and John's built himself an arcade, and the PCP crew was over there, and we were all playing Street Fighter V. Is that the new one, right? And on the arcade version, fucking awesome. So I still play like new fighting games and racing games and shit like that. Shit you can find at the arcade. When will you read Berserk, the manga? You know, I actually looked into getting it, and I just, all they are these little ones, right? So what I want to do is I want to stock it at my shop, and I'm just going to borrow it from my shop and read it, is what I'm going to do. But we're about to start Comics Revisited. But now that Horror Fest is over, we have a very light movie review list, so not so much time is being spent on watching all these franchises, because that's a lot of time was spent watching all these damn movies. But I loved every moment of it, except for some of the Friday the 13th experience. But so soon, probably. I do my reorder tomorrow. I'll probably go ahead and I'll write that down. I'll probably forget to write it down. I'll write it down now, but I forget that I wrote it down. But I've been meaning to get Berserk, because also I know that you are talking a lot about Berserk on your channel and in your crew and your group on Facebook. And I'm like, well, I need to stock it, because that means I know people coming to my shop wearing Jim Mint collectibles shirts. I mean, how fucking cool is that? Paperboy 2 is fun. I've never played 2. I've only played 1. I've been playing Donkey Kong Jr. and getting really mad about it, to be honest. I had some really cool parents. Mostly they weren't. But for some reason, Sega Channel was our childhood, along with NES and all the others. Hell yeah, Nick. What we really need is a way to play more games, read more comics, and watch more movies and TV while still having work and social life. Well, to which my idea has always been to add 4 hours to the day. If we could all just get behind the idea that fuck it, who cares if the sun's in the sky or not, because that rhythm's on. No, I'm just kidding. But if we could somehow just stretch it out and get 4 more hours a day, that would be perfect, wouldn't it? 5 deluxe Berserk editions. Okay. I remember what happened now. I typed Berserk, and when I typed it in a diamond, I got like fucking 80 pages of shit between all the toys and statues and all the little things and all the little, like all the merchandise and all the little individual graphic novels, of which there are a bunch, and those. Yeah, that's what happened. I remember. That's what happened. I'm going to have to spend 20 minutes tomorrow sifting through the Berserker pages. That's what it was. If they wear a Jim Mint shirt, they should get a discount. I'll say that 100%. If you come in there and I am the one there ringing you up, or I notice you're getting rung up, I'll give you a discount for wearing a Jim Mint shirt. I'll also give you a discount for wearing a Pop Culture Philosophers shirt, which we have also seen. But, because sometimes Delaney comes in there wearing his PCP shirt. And Strickland. We've had a couple customers, though. Yeah, there's a station button coming out. It's in the brand new previews right now. It's in the Dark Horse Comics section. It's a 4-pin set for Bill and Ted, and one of them are the 2 stations and a word balloon saying, station. So, I mean, that's PCP right there. We're bringing it back. Hell yeah. All right, we're about to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the future of DC. Well, we've already done that. Yes, we have. When we come back, we'll be talking about the DC comic books out this week. So we will be talking about the DC future. We'll be talking about the books that come out on Tuesday. I've already read them, and I'll do a little bit of a sneak peek review here right now. And when we come back from break, then we will be talking about the new TKO books. I haven't really read too many of them, but I got them and I can show you them. And we'll be doing a little bit of an advanced review for Homesick pilots here on a Teen Dog Shades night. And I still haven't really been asked any Teen Dog Shades questions. So I expect a Teen Dog Shades question. So what's your best Teen Dog Shades question? That's what we're going to leave with here on the break. This is a song me and my homie did as the Basement Show. This was the last song we did together as the Basement Show. Maybe there will be more in the future. Who knows? Maybe we've been talking. I don't know. I'm just saying this. This is the last song we worked on. It was a while ago. It's called Wake the World. It's rough, but here you go.
I go, I awoke with another vision, strapped to the table, waiting for the incision to repair my condition, remove this division, avoid this collision, turn back from this fiction. Now I arise like a zombie breaks free from the pain of the grave and this misery. Stop tempting me with this vanity, insanity, it grips my soul as it longs to be free. Freedom rings, but my soul doesn't see, looking for the questions to the answers I seek. Up to the mountain, down to the valley, can't navigate the space with this evil all around me, astounding, confounding, rebounding and such. A little bit of pleasure's all it takes to give it up. We all seem to know, but no one gives a fuck. I kinda got the feeling that we never wake up. So ride with us, sympathize with us, and tag along as we test our hypothesis. We gotta go.
Wake the world now.
So fly with us, get live with us, just do or die, get right and revive with us. We gotta go.
Wake the world now.
I've been blurring lines, coke not rhymes. To ease the pain it takes more than time. I wish I knew what the answer was. Well, I wish I knew what the question was. Hell, I should have been a preacher preaching the good news. A fake motherfucker, Mr. Goody Two Shoes, selling theological lies here. Put your offering inside. 32 years of strife, still got 2 kids and ex-wife. Proof of a past life, I blew it. Yeah, I know exactly how not to do it. So listen to me, you'll get real far. I am an undiscovered superstar, and if pride comes before the fall, you know who you are. Come, take a trip, we gonna lead the charge.
So ride with us, sympathize with us, and tag along as we test our hypothesis. We gotta go.
Wake the world now.
So fly with us, get live with us, just do or die, get right and revive with us. We gotta go.
Wake the world now.
So ride with us, sympathize with us, and tag along as we test our hypothesis. hard to search, we gotta go.
Wake the world now.
So fly with us, get live with us. Let's do or die, get right, and revive with us, we gotta go.
Wake the world now.
So ride with us, sympathize with us, and tag along as we test our hot heart to search, we gotta go.
Wake the world now.
So fly with us, get live with us. Let's do or die, get right, and revive with us, we gotta go.
Wake the world now.
What is up, PCP? Welcome here to Rockin Robbie Live, segment 2. That's right, it's a Teen Dog Shades night. We haven't got any Teen Dog Shades questions yet. Where you at, Teen Dog Shadesers? Shadesers? We have lots of excitement in this segment. We've already been talking about it, but we got some advanced reviews coming up, so that's exciting. If you're on Facebook, you might as well join the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. And you can follow us there as Pop Culture Philosophers. We're also on Instagram. You can support us at patreon.com/PCP. Like these fine people right here. Lots of names there. Really cool people. I know them all. They're great people. Seriously, thank you so much, David, Alex, Brian, Nelson, Reggie, Brian, Dee Bullseye, Dunlaney, Eric, George, Hamburger, HC, James, Jason, Have, Jose, Josh, Kevin, Kirk, Kyle, Lewis, Monmeat, Michael, Mikey, Nick, PDX, Doug, Fable, Robert, Tacky, Timo, TJ, and William. Station! Thank you so much. Microphone got loose there for a second, man. What was going on with that? You can follow me on Twitter at the Rockin Robbie if you so are inclined to do so. And you can check out popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts and a whole lot more. Podcasts will be returning in 2021, allegedly. We'll see. We've been doing more content this year, though, than we ever have done, as far as hours. With the live movie reviews, which continue Friday night with Roadhouse. Perry from Perry's Comics will be there. Dylan from Dylan's Comics will be there. But more importantly, Bueller from Bueller Comics with Bueller will be there. Very excited for that. But on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, we have Kat Calamia here on the channel from the Comic Uno channel. And she also has a Kickstarter comic going on. Issue number 7 of her series, Like Father, Like Daughter. Highly recommend you check it out. She'll be chatting with us Thursday night on the channel. So Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Time. And then Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Time, Roadhouse with Bueller. And I'm very excited for all that jazz. So Flow Jim is in the house. Yes, SoFlo. No, it's not SoFlo. Is it SoFlo? Yes, it is. I saw somebody else type your name, and that's where it was wrong. Okay, gotcha. SoFlo Jim's in the house. What's up, my man? Damn. Here we go. Teen Dog topic Kickstarter. Last week you mentioned the double slit light experiment. What is that? Okay. Let's see if I can explain this. Hold on. Okay, here's a Buzzed Robbie's explanation of the double slit experiment. Okay. Ugh. All right, so without going into detail, scientists can shoot photons, or they're electrons, right? They're okay. Photons are whatever. They shoot electrons at a screen, which is, say, a detector, okay? So when they shoot the particle out of the machine, and then when it hits the screen across the room, and it detects where it goes, because it can hit anywhere on the screen, right? So what they found was that, damn it, this is really going to be hard to explain right now in my condition. So I'm trying to remember this now. So the double slit experiment. If you can't explain it easily, you just don't grasp it. Okay, so they would fire these things, and if they put a screen down, right, that would detect. So for instance, you just fire these electrons across the room, and you get this pattern, right, across the detector across the screen, and it comes into a wave pattern or whatever. But then when you put a detector ahead of times with like two slits, and like only some people, that's what it is, only some of them hit between the slits. This is a bad time for me to explain this. I'll just tell you this. What it proves is that until detected, a particle basically acts as a wave. So there's any number of probabilities of where this particle will end up on this screen. But when they put the double slit experiment, it has to go through one of two ways, and then that limits it, and it proves it's really crazy. I can't explain it right now. Damn. I haven't had to explain that in a while. I used to be able to explain that pretty good, but it's been a while. Son of a bitch. You caught me. You got me. Yeah. Well, the way that the experiment is pretty convincing. But everybody's right there. They're saying exactly what it is. The observer and the act of observation have an effect on the results of the experiment. The act of observing an event alters the event. Exactly. And there's even crazier versions of it where they put it through all kinds of crazy stuff with like mirrors and shit. And they've learned that it can even kind of almost redirect itself and go back in time and choose a different path. It's crazy. Yeah, it's just random. So like they would shoot the electrons out, and it's just going to be random the way they hit, right? And then they put this detector, and it's a double split. So it has to go through one of these two ways. And then when it does, then they get is a different pattern. So they get a wave pattern, which means that it's a probabilistic nature. That's what it is. That's what it fucking is. So they send the particles, they're photons, right? And they protons. There's some kind of particle. They send them. They can detect them on the screen, and they make this whole pattern over the whole thing. But they're probabilistically more likely to hit in certain areas, right? But then when they put a screen in front with only two slits, so there's only two ways for the electron to go through, right? And so if it goes through, it should hit these two spots more often. But it still has the same. Probability wave. So it still gets detected on all these different paths, which is really odd. But when you put a definitive thing on it, right, where it can only go through these two, and you have an active detection there, then it goes into those two slots. It's so weird. So weird. Mike says he put a video of the double slit experiment in the Facebook page on the PCP Army. So thank you so much. Did you pick the Brian Greene one? Brian Greene does a great job of explaining a lot of this stuff. I should have brushed up on my Brian Greene. I thought someone would ask me about aliens. I'm all prepared to talk about that. Aliens. Aliens. We basically the U.S. government has pretty much acknowledged that UFOs exist on Earth multiple times in the last few years, and why this is not one of the biggest subjects of discussion is beyond me. To be honest, it's kind of beyond me, really is. Yeah, Lloyd, we did talk about Ten of Swords. I'm sorry if you missed it. It was a little bit back. You can rewind a little bit back. It was, I have no idea at what time it was, though. It was probably like, what, guys? Like 40 minutes ago or something? Who knows? I haven't seen Roadhouse, Ed, in forever. And we're watching it, me and Brooks, this week. We planned to watch it Thursday night. But I got that stream with Kat, so I got to get in touch with him. Actually. Do you think The Invisibles is the only comic book that references Hermetic and Gnostic themes and ideas without an anti-Masonic approach? Well, that's a layered question, Flaming Carrot. Let me think about it. I think I pick up on elements of those themes in a lot of books, but I don't even know if they're actually, if they were like consciously put there, right? So in me and my current ideas and practices, I read a lot of that shit into a lot of the stuff that I absorb. So it's kind of hard to discern as far as that goes. But I think Invisibles, no, I don't know. Like, I don't know to that level of detail, but I think that Promethea is a really good one, by Alan Moore. Promethea is a really, almost in a way, a comic book exploration of the Kabbalah in a way, right? So I think that's kind of interesting. So do I think that The Invisibles is the only one? No. Do I have many examples of others? No. But there's probably a lot there, especially on the indie zine circuit. But yeah, there you go. But if you like The Invisibles, you should check out Promethea. Those are, like, to me, they're not just two of the greatest comic books ever done. They're two essential magical documents, in a way. Grimoires in their own right. But The Invisibles even goes out further than that. See, that goes into some of those ideas start their genesis in Zenith. And then they get kind of almost reabsorbed back into themselves in the filth, right? So it's a really great trilogy, I think, to read Zenith, The Invisibles, and The Filth. And then I need a little bit more study, but Nameless could almost be the coda. And I think that's a really interesting exploration on the process of initiation, which is a lifetime-long process, for the most part. Explain Time Loaf. Bruh. Time Loaf. That's easy. Mike already knows Time Loaf. Mike, post a video on the PCP Army about Time Loaf. That's wild shit. So Mike's the one that dropped off this package to me today, this van-shaped package that I'm supposed to open here on the stream tonight. Yeah, Flex Mentallo. Yeah, I need to get a hold of a good copy of Flex Mentallo. I don't actually own a copy. I wanted to get the deluxe edition hardcover, but I don't think I can get it right now through Diamond. But we got some new distributors we're working with, and we'll see what happens. It's all about witchcraft? What? You talking about The Invisibles? Samuel, if you're talking about The Invisibles, I wouldn't say The Invisibles is about witchcraft. I think witchcraft is explored in it. I think there's more aspects of voodoo, but there's definitely it's more chaos magic. But chaos magic can incorporate witchcraft in certain things. That's the beautiful thing about chaos magic is that it's kind of almost like to be honest, like the most prominent chaos magician in comics is probably John Constantine. So it's taking bits of other. It's not taking bits of other things. It's like being able to. It's about being more adaptable and being able to switch the paradigm. Prometheus is great, though. And J.H. Williams' artwork, I still have yet to get a complete thing. I had those hardcovers, but I only had the first 3 volumes. And so then I think they've been doing these deluxe editions, and I want to get those. But then I kind of toyed with the idea of getting the original issues because it's actually not that hard. And I already have the first one, both copies. But I got the Alex Ross cover of it. It's just, to me, such an amazing image. So, yeah, but yeah, that's what I think. But the bread loaf, time loaf thing is basically the idea that time and space are connected. So there's the future, the past, and the present all exist now. It's all existing. Like your past, your future, it's all existed. Now, it's not to say that there's no free will, because as I said in one of my songs, we're at the mercy of the fates, but the fates spin their fabric from the choices that we make, right? So basically all time and space exists as one thing. And if you pull that apart and you have this, you can almost envision it as a loaf of bread from the very beginning of time to the end of time. And it's all there. Now, we're somehow, for some reason, our consciousness is stuck in this thread of now. But now, the idea of now doesn't almost really exist as far as the structure of the universe. Like, the universe doesn't account for now. So this is a perplexing idea, this idea of our consciousness being stuck in time, right? And it's a really interesting idea of consciousness being stuck through time. Why are we experiencing it layer by layer? And then this can be proven because there's all kinds of crazy stuff that I can't get into right now because I can't pull up all the technical stuff, but the act of observation and speed of light, and basically, like, if an object's far away and moving away from you and speeding fast, you vision its future, and it's so crazy. It's really interesting. If Mike can put up the Brian Green time loaf video from Fabric of the Cosmos into the PCP Army, that would be a great explanation of what I'm trying to talk about right now. The Nephilim, children of the fallen angels from heaven. Yeah. That kind of gets into the ancient civilization stuff. I really like that stuff too. I'm not as focused on the Nephilim stuff aspect as other people are. What I get focused on is the idea of how long man has been advanced. I think mankind has been more advanced than we have thought. I think there's evidence for that out there. A lot of it involving Göbekli Tepe, the Sphinx. I'm not an expert on this stuff, obviously, but I'm very much into the idea that mankind was more advanced in earlier days than we have been led to believe by our current notion of prehistory. Time is a human construct, but at the same time, Chad, we are experiencing it. We are experiencing our movement through time and space right now, moment to moment to moment. Physics doesn't account for that. So why? Why is that? Why do we have consciousness, first of all, is a crazy question. And why do we have consciousness that's locked into this particular now, that keeps shifting from now to now to now to now to now? When honestly, I think you can step out of it and all space and time exists as one thing, one entity. Goodness gracious me. Why? That's the ultimate question. That's the ultimate question. First of all, why are we even conscious? What is consciousness? Like, what is this idea? And that's something that you really start kind of attempting, because you can never come to grips with it, but attempting to come to grips with it through things like meditation. You can start with just 5 minutes every day, right? But like just being in the now and understanding now and how timeless now actually feels. And when you get pangs of nostalgia, for instance, I think we get pangs of nostalgia because that now still exists in another portion of space-time, which is all one thing. A time loaf. Space-time loaf. It all is one freaking thing, right? Past, present, future. It all exists relatively to each other. It all is real. It all is now. Why are we in this now? Why do we get pangs of nostalgia? Why do we sense memories of lost loved ones? Why do we have visions of the future? Why? Maybe it's because we are somehow, our consciousness in the now is still connected to their consciousness in the past and the present and future. Maybe it's all connected together. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. What do you think? I don't know. These are the thoughts that I think when the shades are on. And the thoughts that a lot of us think. And I think they're relative thoughts to think about. Robbie reads a Grant Morrison comic and now he's a metaphysical physicist. You know it, David. I read more than Morrison, though. I've read a little bit of Carolyn Hine. I read some more. Some Crowley. I read some Spare. That fucked me up. All that together. You merge all that together and it kind of fucked me up. Plus, when I was young in the 80s, I was listening to Kiss. And people at my church told me that was going to lead me down a certain road, and I think it has. But allegedly, we're all still making it, you know? But yeah, Grant Morrison really inspired me. Like, no, 100%. And I was a Grant Morrison fan before I even understood that aspect of it. I was a fan of the Invisibles before I understood that aspect of it, the metaphysical aspect, the magical aspect. I knew something about it was there, but I didn't really quite understand or even... I wish I would have gotten into it when I got into the Invisibles. Got into the Invisibles late teens, early 20s. And I wish I would have gotten into that kind of stuff then too. But it took me a long time to get to that point. And what it was actually... it was a speech that Grant Morrison gave at Disinfocon in 2000, which would have been right in that era. I mean, I was getting into the Invisibles as the Invisibles was wrapping up. So, you know, as it was hitting that last 12-issue run, countdown and all that. So, I wish we had YouTube back then, but we didn't, you know, so, yeah. Morrison's a big influence on my life, especially the later half of my 30s, I should say. Ace has seen Kiss 4 times. I've only seen Kiss 1 time, and it was like a year or two ago. So it was like the final farewell tour, so surely not the best, but still, I enjoyed it. My vape's almost dead. It's dying on me. I didn't replace my battery on the brake. That's a big mistake. That's a rookie mistake. All right, bear with me. I'm going to have to go change this battery. Man, we're getting some good Teen Dog Shade stuff. Eventually, I'm going to be talking about DC Comics, I promise. We'll be right back, y'all. Where are we going? All right, we're back. It's not the end of the world. We're back. It's like I can't leave. I leave all the time in the middle of streams. At least here you can hear a little bit of a song. We're going to be talking about DC comic books coming up here soon. The new one's coming out this week. Really excited. This was a good week for DC, y'all. It really, really was. And there was a book in which I hated issue number 1, but absolutely adored issue number 2. That's a rarity. But it happened. It happened this week. Epoch says Earth spins around the sun at 66,600 miles per hour at a tilt of 66.6 degrees from horizontal with a curve of 0.666 feet per mile squared. Sacred geometry is an interesting thing to get into. It's not so much related, I think, to what Epoch was saying, but still. Tacky likes Superman this week. That's nice. I'm glad somebody did. I didn't hate it as much as everything else. All right, I'm trying to read some comments here. All right, let's get back to it. Hell, let's get into it. DC Comics. All right, DC Comics. These are the ones that I read that I'm going to be covering in the weekly comic book review. First up, Joker Harley, Criminal Sanity, number 6. Still interesting. I'm still liking it. I'm liking this take on Harley and Joker and their relationship. Harley is a psychic, not a psychic. She's a psychological profiler for the police or something like that. And Joker's a serial killer, so I like this approach to it. I'm enjoying it. It's interesting with the art and some of the choices they make, where they do flashbacks in color and present day in black and white. It lost the strength, I think, when it lost one of its artists, Mike Mayhew, in the early issues. But it still is engaging and cool, but it comes out so irregularly, it's hard to still connect it to what was going on before. But I did like that issue. I thought it was pretty solid with some really decent ideas. There is Aquaman number 65. So Aquaman number 65, spoilers, something happens. It's on the cover. You can easily figure this out. And it's done with very little fanfare and pomp and circumstance. And it kind of pisses me off as a big time Aquaman fan. This is the ultimate ending of Kelly Sue DeConnick's run. It's okay. It's okay. Her run's been ultimately just okay. It's been okay. It's one of those forgettable Aquaman runs that when people say, but I thought you said you like Aquaman. Aquaman's badass. I've been reading Aquaman. It's not good. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's just because they don't know what to do with it. So, we'll see what happens with Aquaman post Future State. Who knows? Nightwing 76. I actually like 75 so much, I actually decided to come back for 76. 76 was decent. Kind of undid some things that I was kind of stoked for in 75, but I thought it was okay. It was decent. I may keep up with this title for now. I'm locked in. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see where the direction goes. I always do this with Nightwing. I'll get into them for maybe 8 months, and then I drop out. And that's usually what's happened throughout my life for the last 20-something years. But maybe I'll continue on again. There is Catwoman number 27. A really great heist issue done by Rom V. The structure of the heist, like the plan, the events, the way it happens, is really interesting and really cool. Rom V should write like an Ocean's 11 type movie or something, some kind of heist movie. Heist movies are great. Heist stories are great. This is a great heist story in comic book form. Catwoman number 27. Rom V is building up something great. He's doing it very low key right now. And right now it's not hitting hard as far as character work necessarily, but as far as the structure of the story and some of the ideas presented, especially in the more crime-oriented, heisty things, is really, really cool. Batman 103. Really like this issue. This is the Ghostmaker, Clown Hunter versus Batman. And it's in there, and it's cool. Ghostmaker's an interesting character. We've seen characters like him before, but this is a kind of a different kind of... This takes a little bit more of a humorous approach with it, and that's kind of a refreshing thing, I guess. This issue was okay. It was pretty solid. It was decent. But you can kind of tell that Tynion didn't have a plan after Joker War, so this one was kind of just like his first thought. But I feel like he's building into something even bigger now that he's had more time to think about it. But it was a solid issue. All right, y'all. This is an issue in which I really didn't like issue number 1, but I loved issue number 2, and it's Rorschach. Rorschach number 2 was amazing. Holy cow. I did not like issue number 1. Maybe anticipation was probably a part of it. I am definitely probably going to sit down this week and reread 1 and 2 together because I loved issue number 2. Tom King's making a statement on Steve Ditko. He's making a statement. That's all I can say right now. He's making a statement about the connection of Rorschach to Steve Ditko. And that's really interesting. I didn't catch on to that in the first issue. They really lay it on thick here for comic book historians in issue number 2. And I loved it. Fournier's artwork with Dave Stewart's coloring is brilliant and beautiful. Clayton Cowles, one of the best letterer at the big 2 for the most part. Let's be honest. I freaking loved this issue. It plays around with the grid structure still, but doing its own thing with it. And I really like that. So, wow. Rorschach number 2 really blew me away. That was a big surprise. I was really dreading reading that one. Justice League number 57. This is the end of Doom Metal. A very fun, exciting end to Doom Metal that ties directly into events in Death Metal number 5. I loved this run. It was nice to get Justice League back to just referencing the Snyder stuff. So I thought that was really, really cool. And then there it is. Dark Knight's Death Metal number 5. This issue was great. Snyder lays out his ideas, the philosophy behind the future of DC, the DC Omniverse, the philosophy, the in-story, in-continuity philosophy of it is laid out here in the pages of Death Metal number 5. I loved this issue. I thought it was great. It's a lot of setup, but it's building. And there's still some great action, some great new Dark Batman. Really, really loving Death Metal. This issue was great. But my favorite issue of DC this week, Rorschach number 2. Super surprisingly to me, Rorschach number 2 blew me away. That was our DC Comics sneak peek. So there you go. Mr. Miracle had a lot of Kirby and Lee commentary in it, actually through the narrative of the story. And I think Rorschach's doing that. It's with Steve Ditko. Steve Ditko obviously created the Question. And the Question is the character that was acquired by DC that was used by Alan Moore in his comic book and then was turned into Rorschach when he was no longer allowed to use those characters. He created his own. So tying Ditko to Rorschach is not some kind of a brilliant, unheard of idea. But the way that he's doing it in the structure of the story in issue number 2, aided by the artwork, the superb artwork by Dave Stewart and Jorge Fornes. It's a masterpiece level comic. We get guaranteed 2 masterpiece level comics this week. 2 I can guarantee. Masterpiece level. Sea of Sorrows is good. Masterpiece level though. Dark Interlude number 1, Rorschach number 2. Right now it's a tough debate between pick of the week, but there's still some comics to read. Twitch says, I'm collecting Joker Harley, but I'm not reading until it gets closer to the end. That's probably wise for that one. I think it's going to be a great overall read. Hi, Robbie. Does the comics influence our daily life? What's comic? Comics influence my daily life. These characters, especially superheroes, they represent archetypes, right? So there's that aspect of it, kind of connecting to a mythological significance, to morality in life in modern day society. So that's kind of a cool thing. But for me personally, obviously, I work at a comic shop. We're here on YouTube talking about comic books and movies and stuff. So pop culture influences me heavily because that's kind of like, that's my mythology. That's my legend. That's my lore. Those are the grand stories of humanity that I absorb and try to get my Sunday school lessons out of, right? In a way. Don't underestimate Dan Jurgens. Never underestimate the man that killed Superman. Rorschach was good. Stokes. Dude, that's Stokes. What's up, my man? I just put that together. Dude, issue 2 was great. Really cool stuff. And not only connecting Steve Ditko to Rorschach, but through Question. Really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. Watchmen connection, who gives a shit? That is just part of the necessary the set dressing for what King and company are doing which is exploring Ditko and his philosophy and how that was expressed through the comic book character of the Question, and how that was reinterpreted by Moore through Rorschach, and how that can be interpreted through many other people and many other lenses. That's pretty complex and pretty awesome, to be honest with you. And I really hate that I was so down on issue number 1. I didn't understand what he was doing yet. 2 is where it took. That's why sometimes you keep reading. Tom King's a fine writer. He's just not good at big two. Like, he's not big at mainstream, big type stuff, I think. His Batman run, I think, would have been fine if it was 50 issues. Here's Bendis writing Green Lantern. How? So, Sinestro trying to free Parallax again? John, again? Yeah, you're right. That kind of dialogue had a charm with me for a while there. He doesn't utilize it as well as he used to. I still read his early stuff and just love it. Torso, Jinx, Goldfish, Ultimate Spider-Man, Powers, Daredevil. So at a certain point, he worked for hire and he was comfortable with it. In the early days, you can tell he had a lot he was trying to do to the medium. And he changed the medium. He really did. He changed comic books. Tom King does really well when he's able to do whatever he wants to do. Tom King books run deeper, but things like Heroes in Crisis, I hated that book. That was so stupid. His Batman run is a lot of just, it's up and down. It's very incredibly inconsistent. But I'll tell you what, I love the Vision. I love Mr. Miracle. I love the Omega Man. I'm loving Strange Adventures. And I love this issue of Rorschach. Yeah, Bendis was the man for a reason. True shit. Bendis is an incredibly important figure in comic books, and not only in mainstream superhero comics, but in comic books, the medium in general, and especially for the prevalence of indie comics. Bendis was indie before he was, mainstream, and he brought that indie sensibility into a lot of mainstream comics, and then that coupled with the Joe Quesada era of Brian Hitch, Warren Ellis, Authority-esque cinematic comic book storytelling with Mark Millar as well. It revolutionized comic book storytelling and brought a whole lot of new fans in, and made those books and events and actions easily adaptable by Hollywood. So we owe a lot to Bendis and Mark Millar, and Joe Quesada, Brian Hitch, Mark Bagley, Warren Ellis. So there you go. Bring back Hawkman. All right, let's take a look at these new TKO books. So usually TKO does 4 graphic novels each wave. This is the 3rd wave. But they're switching it up here. And first things I want to point out is they did these they're called TKO shorts. So they're tiny little comics, 1 complete story, and they're $2.99. You can find this on their website. If you go to TKO, if you go to their website and buy something, you can punch in everything 20, I think, for Everything Comics. That's his discount code. And you get like 20% off, I think. This is the father of all things. I haven't read these yet, okay? But that's really exciting. I like that they did this, so I think that's cool. There's that. There's Night Train. That's got artwork from the cat that did Strange Skies Over East Berlin. Strange Skies Over East Berlin. And Redneck, Lissandro Esterin. So Night Train, that seems cool. Now this one I have read, and it's really good. Seeds of Eden. It's written by Leon Kangas and Joe Corallo. Both of them have been on the show. Friends of the show, if I can say so. And Paul Azazita on the artwork. That's the artist of Outcast, the Robert Kirkman book. This is a really great one-and-done sci-fi book. Really, really cool stuff. So I like that they did these. These are $2.99 each. That's super cool. But then they got the graphic novels. Their graphic novels are oversized. They also do comic books. They're oversized as well. They also do digital. They're regular digital size, depending on your device. So this is a really cool assortment. I've only read one of these books. But you can either get these 6 issues in a slipcase or a graphic novel or digital. There's The Pull. That's by Steve Orlando, Ricardo Lopez Ortiz. I haven't read that one yet, but that one seems neat. This is the Steve Niles one that Bob was saying that he's halfway through and really liking. Kind of like a werewolf story. Lonesome Days, Savage Nights. That's the Steve Niles one. Zyman Kudronsky on the artwork. I looked through the artwork on all of these. This is great. Now, this one I've read, and it's amazing. Red Fork by Alex Packnadell, Neil Vendrell, and Julia Brusco. This is West Virginian, coal mining, hillbilly, raw, rural horror. And that's great stuff. Alex Packnadell, also on the show, friend of the show, if I dare say. I saw somebody mention, Eric says, with TKO releasing Red Fork, I'm looking forward another good Alex Packnadell book. Suggestion. Yes. Plenty. First of all, Friendo from Vault Comics is a great Alex Packnadell book. Turncoat from Boom Studios is a really great one. And my favorite one, and one I would most highly recommend, is called Arcadia. And it's from Boom Studios. Arcadia is one of my favorite sci-fi stories I've ever read. And Alex is a brilliant creator, brilliant writer, in my opinion, and a really great homie. And I really love Alex and wish him the best. And I highly encourage you, if anything, to pick up Red Fork and to pick up The Seeds of Eden by Liana and Joe, because they're friends of the show as well. Pick up Seeds of Eden by Liana and Joe because they're friends of the show. Anyway. When does the book about Redbone come out? I don't know what we're talking about. Red Fork is cool. And Giga. Giga's a new one that just launched. And it's good. He's done other work that's good too. His Kino work's really strong, but I don't know if that's actually, if that whole company's going to go anywhere. He did Incursion at Valiant, which was a really good mini I actually enjoyed from Valiant. I don't get into so many Valiant books, but I really liked that one. Oh, the band Redbone. Yeah, I don't know when that comes out. It's supposed to be very soon. I know what you're talking about now. Memetic's really good, Stefan. I love that book. I still have the graphic novel. I don't have the single issues anymore. I wish I had that variant of issue number 1, right? No kidding. What's up, Jeff? How are you doing? One love from Chicago. All right, so we already talked about Thursday. We got Kat Calamia coming on the show. She's got a new Kickstarter for the 7th issue of Like Father, Like Daughter. She also is the host of the Comic Uno show. She does her own weekly comic book review. Really like checking out her show and getting her perspective on things. But she works in comics. She's a writer for Newsarama. She's a writer for TV Guide. Other things like that. I'm excited to have a chat with her Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Time. Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Time, Roadhouse with Bueller. Live movie review. We're getting into it. Very excited. All right, we were talking about Alex Packnadell. Okay? He's part of White Noise. Now, White Noise is a group of comic book creators, mostly writers, but Casper Wingard is kind of like an unofficial member at times, they say. And it's Alex Packnadell, Ryan O'Sullivan, writer of A Dark Interlude, which comes out this week, Ram V, writer of Catwoman, which comes out this week. We all know Ron B. And if you haven't read Blue and Green, shame on me for not making a video on it yet. You got to read Blue and Green by Ron B. It's one of the best books of the year. And also Dan Waters. So Dan Waters has a book coming out in December. Final order cutoff is tomorrow. So I wanted to talk to you about it. It's called Homesick Pilots. Homesick Pilots is a really great book. It's like punk rock meets a haunted house story. And it's told in as classic of a sense as Dan Waters will give us. But Dan Waters is also giving us a very appropriate punk rock style book. So it kicks off. These are preview pages you can find online. The artwork is phenomenal. Casper Wingard, and he does his own coloring. The choices, there's this dichotomy of like blue and purplish. It's kind of like Argento-esque, Suspiria-esque that really gets carried throughout the book. It's basically about this punk rock band who decides they want to outdo another band by having a show in a haunted house. And when they go to check out this haunted house, everything doesn't end up quite like it seems. The whole first issue is just set up, but I have read it, and it was incredibly done. Homesick Pilots #1 from Image Comics. Casper Wingard, Aditya Bidikar, Tom Muller, and Dan Waters. Do you recognize those names, Bidikar and Muller? You always notice that their names as just letterer and designer, but they're always on these really awesome books. Look at Muller's logo there, and the design work on the cover is amazing, for instance. I love this book. Dan Waters is writing Coffin Bound. That's one of my favorite books. He was the writer of Lucifer. Dan Waters is a brilliant writer, and this is so great, and I'm excited for it because this is one, at least first issue based, is one of his more accessible works for most people. So I think this is got potential to really be a nice hit for him because it's really accessible and really does a great job of building up the world and the mystery a little bit, but about the characters. It's instantly rooted in the main character and the characters around her. And then there's some really innovative things with the artwork. The coloring is superb. Everything just accentuates the experience. I frickin' love it. Love it. Homesick Pilots. Be on the lookout for that. Final order cutoff is tomorrow. So let your shops know by tomorrow that you want it. You can guarantee yourself a copy. I highly recommend it. Yes, we are going to revisit the Constantine movie at some point. We haven't got our March lineup yet, so maybe we'll do that in March. Yeah, I'm excited for Valiant to get it back going. I like Valiant, but right now they just got few and far between titles right now, but they're pretty solid, and I get advanced reviews on them, so I really need to start covering more Valiant, especially since they do that for us here. White Noise, the movie with Michael Keaton, yeah, I remember that one. Top 5 titles of the year so far, Fable. Ooh, that's tough to peg down, but just coming off of the top of the dome. Ice Cream Man, Something is Killing the Children, Gideon Falls. Once the Future, Red Mother. There you go. Top 5, in no particular order. Off the dome, but we'll see. We'll see when it's all said and done. But it is starting, about like a month away from that video coming out, aren't we? Jesus. You don't realize how close we are to Thanksgiving and all that stuff. That's crazy ass. Ugh. Having a crisis. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Empire is not in my top 5, but it may be in my airing of the grievances on our Festivus live stream. Just maybe. All right, we're about to take a quick break, but when we come back, we got a top 5, and we have a massive show and tell. And we got very Teen Dog Shadesy in this segment. I appreciate that. So let's keep that going strong into segment 3. So right now, I'm about to play one of Fable's songs. It's the one we all love. It's the one about cocaine and shooting people. But Hands up, hell yeah, whatever, right? So is that what it's called? I think so. It's the one about cocaine and shooting people. That's what I get from it. Fable lives in New York, though. Who am I to know? I've seen that, though. I've lived that life. Anyway, we'll be right back, but get your Teen Dog Shades questions and comments in right now. I want to start the next segment really getting into that stuff. What do you want to, in fact, what do you think? This UFO stuff, confirmed by the Pentagon, all these leaked footage from the dude from Blink-182. Is that a big deal? Is it not? What else you want to talk about? Other dimensions? Ancient civilizations? Who knows? The song's by Fable. It's called Cocaine and Guns.
Put your fucking hands in the air. Hands in the air. Hands in the air. Put your fucking hands in the air. Hands in the air.
And we are back. What's up, everybody? Welcome here. Fable, that's a dope beat. I love playing it. I love playing it. You know, I promised you I'd get a live mic on one of your beats. Just saying. What's up, everybody? Look around me. See all this cool stuff? Look at those cool people. They're on Patreon. We've had a lot of support on Patreon this month. And y'all, I am overwhelmed with thank you. Like, in gratitude for that. I'm humbled. Thank you so much. You guys are way too nice to me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. You help support the channel. You help keep us going, keep us motivated. You allow us to get new equipment. You allow us to pay the bills and get it going. Thank you so much, everybody that supports this channel. Through Patreon, through Super Chats, through just watching these videos, thumbs up, liking, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff. Thank you so much for everybody's support. You really mean a lot to us. So, station. Hell yeah, let's just station again for everybody here. It's always fun, isn't it? It's always fun to have a nice station with Kid Cudi and Hellboy and Cable and Joaquin Phoenix and Venom and maybe another guest. You never know who's going to show up to the Joker Fest. You know, I started following this page on Facebook called Every Frame. Like, it's like this movie Batman, the 89 Batman, and it's every frame in order. So they just literally just keep putting up each frame. And it's a great page. It really is. I love it. We're at the end of it today. They're going to finish. But I've had a lot of fun with it. And I just recently got into it. I hope they continue going. I hope they do a Batman Returns. Just keep going. Just do all the Batman. Every frame of Batman. I love it. That's a great idea. If you want to build a Facebook page, just pick something like that. Every frame. It's a great idea. Bueller's going to start the Roadhouse one. So somebody up there had asked about Fifth Kind. Who was that? Who was that? Because I asked everybody to ask a Teen Dog Shades thing. Where was it? Somebody asked about Fifth Kind. I don't remember who it was, but somebody just asked about the Fifth Kind. Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind is direct contact between UFO and human. Some people are alleging that that's happened. Some people are alleging that that's been documented. Do I believe it's happened? I don't know. Because I still don't quite understand. I have ideas about what the UFO phenomenon is, but I still don't. I don't believe anything. You know what I'm saying? I think there's been. Okay, here's what I'll say. I think there's been contact. But I think that UFO contact is very similar to other forms of contact that we've had in the past. Talking about Blessed Virgin Mary, angels, demons, ghosts, ancestors, things like that. I think it's kind of, all that phenomenon itself is something separate, I think, from the actual vehicles and craft that they have found. So I think that level of contact, but contact between, I mean, an astrophysicist basically has straight up said that the U.S. government has material from craft made not on this earth. And one of the guys that saw the Tic Tac UFO, was it Jason Freyer or something like that, right? Can't remember his name, I think. I mean, he was saying that if that craft had China or Russia on the side of it, it'd be the biggest news in America. Why is nobody talking about this? Like, people are talking about it, but it's like little bits. And that's always what's not cool with necessarily ufology being lumped into conspiracy theory. But it is a conspiracy because it's something being held from us. I 100% believe this. But do I believe it? I have an idea about it, I should say. I kind of take the words of Robert Anton Wilson and the words of Rufus from Dogma. Robert Anton Wilson says, I don't believe anything. Belief is the death of intelligence. And Rufus from Dogma said that Jesus didn't like people that had beliefs, but people that had ideas. So I like the idea of aliens. I like the ideas more so than the beliefs. So I try to focus more on my ideas than I do my beliefs. Does that make sense? Teen Dog Shade's topic, the everlasting beauty of Jennifer Lopez. Maybe she's into some form of high-level ceremonial magic. She could also just be rich. Had some work done. The best of things. Nutritionist. You know, athletic trainer. Probably has a lot to do with it. Twitch says, my top 5 this year, in no particular order, would be Alienated, Daredevil, Gideon Falls, Something is Killing the Children, and Suicide Squad. Oh, I forgot Decorum. Decorum's up there. Coffin Bound's up there, too. Lonely Receiver, too. Somebody said Lonely Receiver, I saw. Itaki. Lonely Receiver, #1 book of the year. Samuel says, top 5 indies of the year. Once and Future, Undone by Blood, Hotel, Firepower, Stealth. Honorable mention, Transformers, My Little Ponies. Hell yeah. Did you watch the NASA footage when the tether breaks loose? No, Stokes. NASA tether. I'll have to check that out after the stream, bro. You guys start sending me these links, man. You got my number. I want to be on top of it, man. Do you think UFOs have been documented in pieces of art? I mean, maybe. Honestly, maybe. But maybe they were also just, the things like comets, sometimes they show those kind of things, but you got the person riding in the comet and things like that. But I really honestly think that I think when we're talking about craft, right? I think that's different than we're talking about with a lot of personal experiences people have as far as contact. I think those are two separate things. That's my idea. I don't know. But I think contact with these type of beings, let's call them, because Johnny Peel calls this, there's a book, Operation Trojan Horse, and they lay out the idea that this all kind of fits a model, and let's call them ultra terrestrials, because maybe they could be extra dimensional, right? And religious visions and visions of hell and ghosts and the shamanistic visions and things like that, shamanic visions. Things like this can be tied into these kind of beings. Maybe these are the beings that exist in that psychedelic realm people can visit with high doses of certain things or low doses of others. But who knows? So I do think that these beings have been portrayed in art. Let's just say that. But maybe not necessarily the beings that are connected to the alleged craft that we have and the craft that we are seeing in the sky right now. Because that's a little bit different than just the lights and some of that typical phenomena. I think there's been crazy phenomena engaging with humanity throughout its existence. And I think that the UFO phenomena gets kind of tied up with a lot of that stuff. And I think a lot of its stuff has its same root in the same thing. And maybe even this craft idea does, but I don't think there would be any physical medium. Now they're actually, they've been admitting that there's physical things now. So, and they're really, nobody seems to care. That's what blows my mind. If this was done in the 90s when the X-Files was at its peak, well, this would be what we would be talking about. But there'd be no internet, really. But it would be all over the news, probably. Who knows? Who knows? Do I think aliens were involved in the construction of the pyramids? No, I do not. I do not think extraterrestrials were involved in that. I think that was mankind, but I think it was inspired by divinity. Take that as you will. I have not seen the New Mutants movie yet, but it is on the itinerary to do soon. Good luck on your math test, Sam. Good luck with dinner, David. I got a dinner. Wait, I'm going to have pizza and sleepaway camp tonight. All this Friday the 13th got me thinking about that one. I think I'm going to watch that one tonight. Watching a movie with no intent on doing a review on it. That hasn't happened in a minute, so I'm excited. Our government is going to fake an alien invasion to unite us under one world government. That is a very common theory. Inspired by the alleged deathbed confession of Wernher von Braun, who a lot of stuff here in my hometown is named after. Our Civic Center, for instance, the VBC. Used to be the VBCC. Now it's just the Von Braun Center. It's no longer the Von Braun Civic Center. I could never get over that, too. When it went from VBCC to VBC, I hated it. It's like, VBCC sounds so much better. Nowadays, I'd be calling it VBC squared. It's a common idea, false flag type stuff. False flag stuff is interesting because false flag operations have happened and have been planned. So they do exist. That's a really, really elaborate one, though, right? And it's something that Alan Moore touches on The Watchmen. Now, the thing with conspiracy theories is, yeah, it is true. I'm not trying to simplify my life by giving all of my power or whatnot to conspiracy theories to make my life seem simpler. Like there's like whatever. Like I'm interested in the ideas behind a lot of it, and a lot of it is true, but a lot of it is BS too. Do you worry about ants in the rainforest? Why would they worry about us exactly? 2020 has been crazy. We always assume that aliens that visit us are the same race. Maybe several races have visited us. Maybe fable. I just think that the distance involved, it's hard for me to believe that aliens visit regularly Earth. It really is. But something's going on. Now, I do believe that a lot of contact scenario is based on more of an extra-dimensional type of entity. The same kind of entity that maybe people say they can call on as angels or demons or ghosts, ancestors, the Blessed Virgin Mary, things like this. I've mentioned this. So I don't know. Now I'm hitting a point where like, where is there a difference? Where's it split off? What's the thing? I've always been more focused on these extra dimensional entities, things that maybe exist on a different plane of existence, but coinciding with us in relative space, if that makes sense. Coming from so far away, it seems so almost improbable. But then again, who knows what type of life is out there? You know, our Mandalorian's real. No, maybe. But I haven't watched the new episode of The Mandalorian. Jesus. Maybe I should watch that instead of Sleepaway Camp. I was going to watch Sleepaway Camp, though. Maybe I'll watch that. Maybe I'll watch Mandalorian tomorrow. Mandalorian Monday. Flaming, I'm right there with you. He says, I think the commonly accepted scientists in mathematics is too logical, positivist, without enough metaphysical speculation. Well, that's why metaphysical speculation is a very necessary thing, I think. Unfortunately, it gets done usually in different circles. But what's crazy is that the metaphysical speculators really do lean a lot on accepted science and mathematics, because a lot of that stuff, like quantum theory in particular, seems to lend some weight to some of these ideas. But you know, it is what it is. It do what it do. And it be what it be. Just realize my final 9 is way far away from me. We'll worry about that later. Too far away. Too far away. If aliens didn't exist, this would be an awful. They do exist. Have they visited us? I don't know. Maybe. Seems like they have. Something's visited us. Multiple times, right? We get a great top 5 tonight. It's going to get me hungry. I'm telling y'all. I'm excited about tonight's top 5. We're about to be getting into it. We've had some great Teen Dog Shades conversation as well. So let's just get into it. Tonight's top 5. Y'all ready for this? Everybody can enjoy this. 2020's taken a lot from us this year. But one of the things that's really unforgivable is the taking away of certain menu items from Taco Bell. Tonight's top 5 is... Top 5 discontinued Taco Bell items. At number 5, and this is not just discontinued items from this year. At number 5 is the 7-layer burrito. First of all, this is a dumb thing to take off the menu. Why? Because all of these items still exist at Taco Bell. You can literally create this by just altering any random burrito from Taco Bell. You can make this. It would cost a lot to add each individual ingredient. Maybe that's why they did it. This is bullshit. It's bullshit for them to say that this is no longer available on the menu because they literally have beans, rice, onions, sour cream, guacamole, tomatoes, cheese, and whatever the hell else is in here. They still can make this. It pisses me off. Number 5, 7-layer burrito. Love this. By the way, one of their best burritos. It is a beautiful concoction of ingredients. At number 4, the chili cheese burrito. Y'all, I used to skip high school and go to the Taco Bell right near my high school and get chili cheese burritos. Oh my goodness, it was so good. Now, you can just get chili, you can get cheese, you can wrap it up in a tortilla, but you cannot, it's not the same. Now, I've seen people online that have recipes for this, so I'm going to be trying that out, but some people called it the chilito. But the chili cheese burrito from Taco Bell was a staple of my life in the 90s and early 2000s. I absolutely love it. Love it. Love it. At number 3, the Mexican pizza. It's a travesty. It's a tragedy that they've gotten rid of the Mexican pizza. This was one of the most unique items at Taco Bell. It was Mexican. It was pizza, but it wasn't like a pizza. It wasn't exactly what you thought it would be. But it was glorious and it was great. And it really sucks that they got rid of it because I've really rekindled my love affair with the Mexican pizza earlier this year. And it frickin' sucks. This is a great ingredient and there are a lot of make it home recipes. I highly encourage you to check them out. And number 2, the enchilito. Y'all, I miss this so much. It was a staple of my childhood. It went away, then it came back. Now it's gone again. It was basically a beef, and onion burrito with the sauce and the cheese on the outside, like an enchilada. It was a mix between an enchilada and a burrito. The enchilito. This was such a great, the way it worked. Seriously, the way the cheese would melt over the sauce and kind of form into one great thing and you would cut into it. It was a great texture, a great experience, and I really miss it. At number 1, though, the spicy tostada. The spicy tostada was probably my all-time favorite Taco Bell item. I have eaten this so many times over the last several years. It was only $1. It was only 200 calories. I based so many meal plans around the spicy tostada, especially back in my gym rat days. I was losing a lot of weight, doing a lot of good. Spicy tostadas were a part of it. It was a treat. It was a great cheap treat I could get at certain times, and I really miss it. Because first of all, it was $1. It was incredibly delicious. It had no meat. It was beans and lettuce and cheese and tomatoes, but it had that chipotle sauce and that other sauce, the burrito sauce, on a crispy tostada shell. Oh my goodness. I miss it. I miss it so much. Tostadas are easy to make at home, obviously. You can get the appropriate chipotle sauce, but I still really miss this one. That was my top 5 discontinued Taco Bell items. What were yours? What Taco Bell items do you miss? Because there's a lot of them. Cheesy, Fiesta potatoes. Come on. Which ones you miss? So that's my top 5. That was suggested by somebody in the PCP Army. Hell yeah. Mexican pizza is my favorite aside from the gorditas, says Herminio. Yeah, it's crazy Taco Bell took off the Mexican pizza. You can still eat chalupas. You're right about that. That's nice. I guess. They still have the Crunchwrap Supreme, by the way. Guess what's in the Crunchwrap Supreme? A fucking tostada. So why can we not have tostadas on the menu? Jesus. That's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. This is pissing me off. I don't know why I did this top 5 now. It's pissing me off. I do want to say, though, I was really happy because it's Teen Dog Shades night, and these kind of look like there's a hand, like a disembodied hand holding a burrito in space, and some cigar-shaped UFOs are reported, so look at that, burrito-shaped, saucer-shaped, burrito-shaped on a saucer, saucer-shaped. Pretty freaking dope. Just saying, kind of appropriate. See, Chris, I've never had a Del Taco. We have no Del Tacos in our area at all. I've never had Del Taco. I've always wanted to try Del Taco. But I've never gone to one. Never. Where's the nearest one? I'll have to go. The Mexican pizza is a pain in the ass to make. The beans, if too thick, usually crack the shell when you try to spread it. That's a really delicate shell. I heard it was to cut down on packaging, whatever. The 7-layer burrito. I can get a burrito supreme and say minus this, add this, and I have a 7-layer burrito. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Should be on the menu. Tostada. That was my favorite. That was the thing, though. Like Mexican pizza, though, that was like iconic on their menu, too, man. Oh, my goodness. Chili cheese burrito, I've made my peace with that. But the spicy tostada. And the enchilada, I've made my peace with that, too. But the spicy tostada, it was $1. It was only $1. And it was so great. Like 2 of those and you're good. 2 of those and a water or a soda, you're good. But I'd usually get the triple layer nachos, got rid of those too. Why? They still have everything to make it. Whatever. But it is what it is. Oh, yeah, and the spicy potato soft taco, that was almost on the list. It was considered. But I wanted to throw some old school ones on there, like the enchilada and the chili cheese burrito. Dude, Perry, I want Taco Bell now, too. But my buzzed ass isn't going to Taco Bell, so if I wanted Taco Bell, I'd have to fucking get it delivered, which would cost like almost double. But I ain't doing it, because I got a frozen pizza I'm ready to fucking dig into with some sleepaway camp. By the way, what's up, Perry? I'm excited. Roadhouse is this week, Perry. Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Time. Roadhouse. Live movie review. There's a Del Taco in Chattanooga, Mike? That's easy. Chattanooga's easy. Yeah, Perry, it's this week, bro. Should get you a calendar. We have a Del Taco in Chattanooga? That's easy. That's easy. Taco Bell is one group of ingredients remixed a bunch of ways. Fable, that's cooking. Yeah, I mean, you're right, though, about Taco Bell, but I love it. I fucking want Taco Bell right now. I really do. Damn, I got to rent Roadhouse? Man, if you don't already have it, yeah. I'll have to rent it. I don't have it. I never really liked Roadhouse that much. But Bueller was always talking about it, so I always thought it'd be fun. Wait, Del has taco? Apparently, Del Taco? I've always heard of Del Taco, but we've never had one. I didn't know there was one in Chattanooga. I've been through Chattanooga so many times. I don't know if I've ever stopped. We usually just drive through it to go to... Well, yeah, I've stopped because I saw 311 in Chattanooga. We went to a brewery there at that railroad track place. And now I want tacos. Man, I really want tacos now. Why did I do this top 5 without having tacos for tonight? What's wrong with me? Could have made my own damn tostada and shared pictures of it. By the way, I did air fry another steak this week, and it was delicious yet again. This air fryer is amazing. I think I'm gonna try. Ready for this? Banana bread. Banana bread in the air fryer. I found a. Never been to a Taco John's. Never. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, but when you're going to find time to go to Chattanooga, I'll make time. If you want to go to Del Taco, I'll go with you. If we find something to do in Chattanooga, is there like McKay's there or something? Like a cool store like that? Hell yeah, let's do it. Some Friday where we don't do a movie review. Some Sunday where we don't do a Rockin Robbie Live. Hell yeah, let's do it. Yeah, now I want tacos. I just want to look at these images again. Let's look at these beautiful images of menu items from Taco Bell we can't get anymore. But want. It's kind of bad. Kind of bad to do that. But whatever. We're about to hit the show and tell portion of the show right now. We have a lot of show and tell. Because I got some stuff I set aside for Friday. Because for some reason I thought we'd get to show and tell on the Friday the 13th stream, but that didn't work. Yeah, Jack in the Box tacos suck. Bro, I've eaten at Jack in the Box. I made the mistake one time. I thought it was so cool. This was in my early 20s. We stopped on the way to St. Louis at a Jack in the Box. And I was like, so you telling me I can get an egg roll, a burger, a chili dog, and a taco? So I got all four and ate all four, and it was a bad night. It was a bad night, y'all. I'm just going to say. They're like those Burger King tacos. Ugh, the hell are those? So show and tell. Let's start here. So I've already shown this, but there's my John Spartan from Demolition Man, right? So Mike hooked me up with the Simon this week. So there you go. Now I have Simon and John from Demolition Man. It's not wanting to focus, but whatever. There you go. These are remolded New Adventures of He-Man figures, apparently. Mike also hooked me up with my very first She-Ra figures. And I really don't know who is who, except for I know this is Bo. So there's Bo with the heartbeat. How dreamy. Now, I don't really know who these people are, but there's that one. One of these is Katra, I think. Is that this one? I'm missing all the accessories, but these are the first ones. And I got a Motu collection building, so why not? This is the one that you can switch her head, which is kind of cool. It's kind of like Mini Faces, but she only has like two heads. Like a nice one and an evil one. I like the evil one. What's wrong with me? Mike got me this one a long time ago, but that's my Hordak pop. I love that pop. I got rid of a lot of my pops, but I kept that one. We were talking a little bit about space and astronomy, physics, astrophysics and shit, but I'm a big Carl Sagan guy. So there's my copy of Cosmos. Trying to make an effort to show off more books, I guess. But more importantly than my novel, my book of Cosmos, is my DVD set of Cosmos. This is one of my all-time favorite TV documentary series of all times. Cosmos blows me away. I rewatch the old one all the time. I freaking love this stuff. It's a great thing just to put on and fall asleep to at night sometimes. I don't recommend going to sleep watching TV. I rarely do that. I don't have a TV in my room anymore, but I may be putting one in there soon, just so I can put in some Cosmos and drift off. Carl Sagan, and this is my life, y'all, right there. Yeah, I know, DVD, weird stretch, but whatever. It is what it is. So, Jay Strick didn't tune in tonight. I didn't see him, but I do want to say thank you, Jay Strick, because Mike brought over not only this van-shaped gift from the PCP Army, but he brought me this from Jay Strick. This is an unopened box of Bill and Ted's Most Atypical Movie Cards. Look at that. I'm very excited to open this up. I think Jay Strick has a box too. I think Mike does as well. And maybe we can set something up where we open them up together. But like, yo, look at that. And there's a game. You can win a bodacious trip to San Dimas, California. It would really suck if we opened this up and one of us won. But you know. But yeah, how cool is that? An unopened box. That was from Jay Strick. So Jay Strick, thank you so much, my man. Station. How cool is that? How cool is that? That's super cool. 69, dude. All right. Speaking of Mike also got me these for the studio. He got me this Iron Man figure. It's one of my favorite Iron Man armors because it's from the early 90s. I love that classic on-card. Should we open it one day? But he also got me this Silver Centurion Iron Man. How cool is that? It's a great companion piece to the War Machine that I have right there. Which, yes, I have figured out how to get everything attached to it. And how cool does that look? This was worth it. Look at that. So there's the Silver Centurion. Doesn't have as many accessories, but it's a good companion piece. Allegedly. I love this figure, though. Oh, Weapon X fell. Should I call you Weapon X? Got some comics because Bueller, on one of his recent live streams, he had picked up a Night Thrasher book, and I wanted to show... Oh, shit, I didn't realize that was still in there. That's cool. All right, so Bueller had picked this one up recently, his Night Thrasher 4 Control, and he said he only picked it up because of me, and that's cool. I'm a big Night Thrasher fan. But there's my 4 Control, signed by Mark Bagley and Fabian Nicieza, creators of Night Thrasher. Here's my Night Thrasher number 1, signed by both of them. I know, this is a Night Thrasher thing. There is my New Warriors number 1, signed by both of them. That one's personalized to Ruby, because he didn't connect the O, but he does know my name, and I'll prove that here. There's my Spider-Man 361, signed by Bagley. That just happens to be the first full appearance of Carnage. There it is right there. So all 4 signed by Bagley. These 3 signed by Fabian and Bagley. All 3 very key Night Thrasher issues. So I just wanted to tribute Bueller there. And plus on the recent battle draft on Everything Comics for his leader of his team, Battle of Hell's Kitchen, Bueller picked Night Thrasher. And for that, I got to give Bueller a big station. There he is right there. Holy shit. Bueller just showed up. It's like we manifested him. Bueller, did you see those? If Bueller didn't see him, I'm going to show him again. There's that one you showed off that you said you got just because of me. There's my copy, signed by Bagley and Fabian. You know I'm a Night Thrasher fan. You've seen that one multiple times. You've seen that one multiple times. And once again, there's my Spider-Man 361, signed by Bagley. Bam. So there you go. Oh, look. On the back of this New Warriors number 1, there's a Game Boy ad. How cool is that? How cool is that? Everybody check out Bueller's channel tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Central Time for the all-new Coffee and Comic Show. They're going to be talking about favorite con moments tomorrow. Very excited to check that show out. My wife wants to know what's that Star Trek action figure. Right here, this is Dax. This is Dax from DS9. Right there. These Playmate Star Trek figures have really good likenesses. DS9 is one of my favorites. I have all the main characters from DS9. Weird stretch, I know. Dylan's here? Y'all fucking with me. Fuck you. Bueller, how you doing, my homie? Good to see you in here. I was just talking about you. Cop Rock, hell yeah. Bueller, a reminder, is going to be on the show Friday night for Roadhouse. Live movie review. Very excited. Same shelf with the Iron Man you just showed. This is the shelf that's here. I change up the things that are on it sometimes, though. Safe paste. Roadhouse, Bueller. I'm excited. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to channel your energy. Me and Brooks are going to do a breathing exercise for 10 minutes. channeling the energy of coffee and Bueller and comics. And we're going to watch Roadhouse. And we feel like maybe this is the time we finally become men. That's what my wife guessed. You are her new best friend. Ha! Oh, Dax is awesome. I got an Odo way over there. He's on the other end of the studio. He's like right there. That's Odo. See that bit of beige right there? Where is it at? Yeah, that's Odo. And I have a cork behind me, don't I? Yeah. I have a cork right here. So there's that. And I got a Picard with the jacket right here. I got more of these, of course, but a lot of them are in the tub right now. Not the bathtub, but engage. He's got the fingers. Engage. Engage. Yeah, I'm a big Star Trek fan. Bueller's doing good. Excited for Roadhouse. Me too. Fable, who was complaining about having to rent Roadhouse earlier, says, well worth the $2.99 to get a movie review of Bueller. Good times. We should make everybody super chat $2.99 to join us. Just kidding. Just kidding. That's a joke. We would never do that. Never. All right. Was that all show and tell? Yes. So now I guess I got to open this up. This is a van-shaped package. It was dropped off by Mike today. It says, from the PCP Army, weird stretch. So I'm thinking maybe there's something extra in here, but probably not. But we're opening this up. It is van-shaped. I'm pretty sure it's the Punisher van, y'all. So let's see. Oh, I used to take a bath with my figures all the time. Look at that. It is a Punisher van. We did it, PCP Army. We got the Punisher van. It comes with the Punisher in there. This is basically the Joker van, but it has many more special features because those pop off so you can like shred somebody's tires. That's pretty freaking cool. Maybe they pop off. Still got to figure all that out. I think we are missing the gun in the bit. It's got something this gun pops out there and the Frank can hold it. That's pretty freaking cool. Right? Now's not the time to try to figure out how to get this to fold back in there correctly. To be honest. So let's open this up, see if there's anything in there. There's supposed to be a gun that's in there, but I can't. Something's in there, but I can't get it out because I can't get this fucking thing folded back in right. What the fuck? Impossible. What's going on here? I can't get that. There we go. Something's in there. I can't get it out. It is the gun. We thought that we didn't have the gun. That's the extra special I think that Mike had in there. Dude, that's awesome. We thought it didn't have the gun. It does have the gun. It is complete then. That's awesome. And the front is going to pop open like this. Look at that. There should be a skull right there. Where's the skull? Maybe I'm thinking that the Joker van had a... Nice! This is the talking Punisher figure in there. That's awesome. So it does come with a gun. Hell yeah! Fuck yeah. Look at that. PCP Army, thank you so much. That's so dope. That's so freaking dope. I've been talking to Mike all week long. I was like, well, it's going to be forever until we find that damn... Does it still work? Oh, we're going to have to change the battery. But that's the Punisher figure. That's cool because he's got a little bit of extra detail right there. The blue belt and the blue gun strap. That's freaking cool. Thank you, PCP Army. Y'all are the best. We got a Punisher van, everybody. Woo! I took off the Punisher symbol, but now we're crowdfunding the Tomb of Dracula, so... But thank you. We funded the Punisher van. Thank you so much, PCP Army. Oh, shit, and Bob's here. Bob, Station, I watched your review today. That's awesome. Oh, and by the way, 3 out of 4 battle drafts. Bob's got to bring in new people because he's tired of the same winner. Just kidding. Thank you guys so much. Let me tell you about these couple guys I know. It's Ken and Ryu. They went against Sagat one too many times, some not too long time ago. Then M. Bison showed up and he said, I'm gonna make sure that you all are dead. But then here came a Wesley Snipes and he said, yes. It makes no sense. Thank you guys so much. We got the Punisher van. Blade's happy about it. And then Kid Cudi came out of nowhere. And he had one thing to say. What is it, everybody? Station! Everything Comics. I will be the Ken Jennings of goddamn battle drafts. You just wait and see. PCP Army non-stop. We're dominating battle drafts. We're dominating Thunderdome. It's not me. It's you. It's the PCP Army. We can't be stopped. Thank you so much. Just kidding. No, I really do appreciate everybody that goes on there and votes. It's always a fun show, Bob. It's so much fun. I really like Bueller's scoring system, by the way. But yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I bet he'll do a Tournament of Champions. Hadouken. Hell yeah. Well, that was Show and Tell. That was the show, everybody. We had an appearance by Bueller. We had an appearance by Jim Mint. We had an appearance by Bob from Everything Comics. What more can you ask for except for the PCP Army themselves? Thank you so much. We had a great live stream. Went through a great top 5. Yeah, that's a great scoring system. That's really good stuff. Really good stuff. I'm excited for another one, man. You can do as many as you want, Bob, but I need one like a month. Please. Every month and a half, something like that. Anyway, we are dipping out here at PCP. We're dipping out. We're not coming back. Don't worry about it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for checking out the show. Please do like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And join us Tuesday night for the weekly comic book review. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. PCP Army, thank you so much. That is Punisher Van, Mike, PCP Crew, PCP Army, thank you all so much. We love you. Y'all have a good one. We're out. Station. We didn't do the final 9 because it was final 9. Final 9, everybody. Final 9. And yeah, I am craving Taco Bell now. That was totally miscalculated by myself. Final 9. We're gonna make it through to the very beginning of the D's in my Blu-ray collection. What D's? D's nuts. How about that? All right, next up, Casablanca. I like me some good classic films. Casablanca is one of my faves. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I put this in the C's for Charlie Brown. I don't have any others, but this is the only one I have because this was the most important one to have. Therefore, this year, when everybody was complaining that it wasn't available on network TV, I just threw in my Blu-ray. Then we got Children of the Corn, a great Stephen King adaptation into film. Love this film. This is one of my all-time favorite movies. Citizen Kane. I love this movie so freaking much. Love it. If you've never watched it, you really should. Another one of my favorite movies, Clerks. It's the 15th anniversary edition. It's been longer than that now. Here's my Close Encounters of the Third Kind set. I love this set. It's got 3 versions of the film, a nice book too. Y'all know I love this movie. If you didn't know, this is one of my favorite movies. Love that movie. This one was talked a lot during Horror Fest. Creep Show. It's the version I got. Don't have the nice Scream Factory one. We said that sets count as one. So here's my Critters set. Just recently got this one. This is Shout Factory. Nice packaging. It's got 4 movies. Critters 1. Whoops. Critters 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, love me some Critters. Love me some Scream Factory box sets. Holy crap. It's a new obsession. Wish I would have got that Halloween one now. So even though these are 4 movies, it's 1 because it's a box set. And yeah, Critters in Space. Yep, there you go. The Halloween one would be nice. I have the Scream Factory box set, but it's not the one with the slipcase. And the final one for the final 9, we're going to end on a high note. Daredevil, the director's cut. It's Daredevil. No, I don't have Clerks 2. I don't. Critters is great. I love that movie. So that's the final 9 Blu-rays from my collection. We got to the D's. We'll continue on next time, next week. In fact, next week I got a special announcement. Guess what's coming next week? You know it. I'm excited. We'll be talking about a Wolverine-centric Marvel in the 90s. All right, y'all, we're out. For real this time. No, for real, we're out, Robbie. No, we are out. We're leaving. We're not coming back.
Put your fucking hands in the air.
Get your fucking hands in the air. Get your fucking hands in the air. You know that I don't care. I'm just coming around your dare. Let me tell you, I know where. You better beware. Better watch where you step. Better watch where you're going, little fucking punk breath. Let me tell you where I'm going to the top. And you know I never stop, even though you just may drop. And you drop, cause I tell you to. You know that you do it when you do it. When I tell you, let me tell you, motherfucker, what? Put your hands in the air. This ain't real. Do you care? I don't know. Do you dare? Let me tell you, it's not there. There is no Rockin' Robbie. There is no fucking spoon. And there is no Rockin' Robbie. And there is no upper room. Let me tell you, do you follow me? Follow me to the tops of the stairs. Follow me if you ever beware, and if you dare, if you care, let me tell you, motherfucker, light up the smoke, light up the jail, I'm coming now. Alright, this next bit's written. Yo, full effect with my friends, now you know we the dopest. Check how it ends your evil schemes are hopeless. Focus emotions before you end up broken. You choke away the lies, let the truth be spoken. Now that that's said, let's get back to drinking and we get a little bit. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, the feeling is sinking. I feel like I am dreaming. Believe me, everything has a hidden meaning. Or it doesn't, I don't have a fucking clue. I'm just contact and I do what I do. So don't be prude and I won't be rude. If you look for someone better, won't find another dude. Don't come through and aggravate me. If you play real, I'll congratulate thee. And if you test real, I'll congratulate thee. But don't come around cause you nauseate me. Yo! dropping that shit in the middle of the day. Let me tell you, I don't play when I'm coming, I bring it. Let me tell you, motherfuckers, you know that I sing it. His name is Hellboy, his name is Roll Toy. Let me tell you, Roll Toy was a man that I knew back in the fucking day in 1988, and I put him on a plate and I ate him. Now he's late. Let me tell you, not making it today. Yeah, pick up, don't you know? And I'm motherfucking stuck. What?
Put your fucking hands in the air.
Put your fucking hands in the air. Station! That was for you, Fable. My man, thank you so much for all your support, everybody. We are out with this last look at the Taco Bell discontinued items. Never forget the spicy tostada. Never.